Morning all. Morning. Okay. Hope you're all doing good. Hopefully you had a good night's sleep, rested, had a decent day yesterday. We were prepared for yesterday, and you know what? We've got exactly what we wanted. This is what we wanted. We did not want that all-time high taken yet. We had a nice inside day yesterday. We did actually just about peak above, but I'm going to consider that an inside day. And now we're doing exactly the same again today. All right, so Monday, gap up outside of previous days or previous week range, sorry. Tuesday, inside of Monday. Wednesday currently inside of Tuesday. All right, this is opening us up to this move here. All right, we are bullish on rotations. The only things to consider are where the bear traps live. They live down here. All right, into some of this, and we have an old gap down here. All right, you have the new week opening gap, Friday close into Sunday's open. We do have a gap fill potential there for a New York session gap fill if it wants. That's not me saying we need to be bearish for this move. It's me saying if they want to dip below yesterday's low, the gap and everything in it down to really 25,000-ish, all right, we expect bulls to step back in there probably. We lose that old range, all right, we start losing this and can't reclaim it, then we're going to go back into the previous week's range and look much more bearish. But that's not where we're at right now. Right now we're above it, so we respect it. We've got the 5-day, 20-day, Bollinger Bands are going to start doing this. Everything looks pretty bullish, all right? Things to consider. Why did we have some of these moves down overnight? We can see them in the hourly sessions. Make sure I'm on the right chart for you. There we go. All right, so yesterday built that chop, which is what we wanted to see. We wanted to see this build out versus the old high. Monday into sort of Tuesday's range, Tuesday rally up, and then into close, we come back down to these lows. Why does that happen? All right, Netflix missed. Not a great earnings season for Netflix. Wasn't the worst, to be honest, but not as good as they would hope. Let's put it that way. It wasn't as good as they would hope. So we come down, test the low side of the range. Test the low side of the range. All right, lots of stops down here, aren't there? You can see bulls so far respecting this old high. We haven't really come and tested it. So down here and up here are the edges of this current range. What's the target? Well, if we want to go downside, maybe we come and test back into these sort of 25, 120s, 150s, this kind of area, and wait to see if bulls, you know, step back in there. So I'd imagine bears will look for a breakout short under here. What do we know happens there? Lots of times they get trapped, right? We don't know. Maybe it comes down to here. We are still pro trend, right? The pro trend is very, very obvious here right now. Right, we can retest this and still go higher. If we retest this and get stuck, then we're going to consider the previous week range. But all the time we're above previous week's value, we are looking for higher moves. So I'm expecting if we come under here, maybe, all right, there's a short for you guys who love the rotations, but it's not going to be, you know, last too long. I'd be very concerned about this move back inside, all right, because that's what I expect to happen either today or tomorrow. Same for the upside, all right? You've got the edge right here. You can see previous day value area high. Poked, failed, came up overnight, failed again, failed inside. So this is your rotation, all right? This is building and building and building. It can afford to do this, all right? It can afford to do that. If we break out to the upside, where are we looking? All-time highs, very, very simple. Up here, basically 25,400, all right? Above all-time highs, if we get above all-time highs, you need to be careful of what? Same thing, fail, breakout, turn back inside the range. Can easily do that, take the stops, fail, breakout, fall back inside of the range. If we base above, if we get above and we base, yes, we can play continuation long. So you need to be careful here. These are the kind of days, a bit like yesterday. We don't know. There's not a lot of news today, and we have Tesla after the bell, right? Worth noting that. Tesla is after the bell tonight. They might save all of this and wait and see what Tesla does, because if Tesla comes out and beats and has strong earnings, and then we get the same thing tomorrow on, oh, it's not IBM. What is it tomorrow? One of the chips that Trump's just started investing in. Come to me in a minute. Anyway, we get that tomorrow and we have two beats, then it's going to start looking good for the mag. All right, so then we're going to start going risk on. But right now, we are bullish overall. The question is, where does that trap live? Can we get above and sustain or rotation? Otherwise, same as yesterday. You're just playing the edges. The edges are what pays. Buying low, selling high, buying low, back into the range, right? And you can see that dance out. Let's have a quick look overnight. I need to speed up a little bit here. So it's currently Asia buyers who are protecting these lows down here. For that drift up, London sold it back, and that's all you've got. And we have taken out that Asia low. So I'd be watching these two boxes, basically each side of this, and we can extend this a little bit just to make sure we include London there. All right, let's get into the mag and everything else. A quick look on ES, same story. One thing I'd say on ES is it has had weakness versus these highs. All right, so if you're playing ES, we're not quite as far up into these yet, but you're getting closer. You're getting closer. So what we're really looking for is a build out of liquidity, like we talked about last week. A build out of liquidity up here. Here's your head. There's your break. Anything above here is considered bullish build out to go higher. Even if we come down into this, as long as we protect that, that is bullish. It's a bullish continuation pattern to try and take out the highs. VIX, right, you can see it's still diving back down. Right, we can move this down into here. That's your supply on VIX. And first edge is about into here. All right, so coming down into an area of interest. It's possible that VIX, I mean, normally 85% of the time, VIX would have had a bid either Monday or Tuesday. It hasn't. Right, so it's possible we come back down into there. Do they find a bid here? You do have the VIX options expiries happening this week, but I just be cautious as we get into here. If VIX finds a bit of a rebound, you know, and we build out this in here again, just like we did here, this kind of thing. But so far has been drifting lower. Watch for that back test of sort of 19s again. I'd say 18 where we are now and 19s will be key, over under. Right, mag. Let's get into the mag. Right, we had that big push from Apple. Very similar to Q's, holding its gains. Big difference is it's above that old all-time high now. All right, so the question for Apple is, can it find a base out here for the next leg? All right, what we're looking for is this. All right, can it find a base out here for the next leg up to run up into earnings, or are we going to see profit taking and back into the range? We don't want to see that. Alex is long Apple from 202s. We don't want to see that. We want to see a base and go. Amazon started rallying. You know, I'm already in Amazon. I was looking to scoop some on dips. We haven't seen it. So unfortunately, this part of the move's gone without me. All right, so same thing. Can it base out and return back towards these highs? It's got a long way to go to catch up on Amazon if you have a look. All right, failed break below, traded inside, came back to that demand area, starting to base out. If it starts holding sort of the teens, all right, if it starts holding the teens and looks for that move to 228, we're going to get very, very bullish on Amazon. Obviously, it's got earnings coming, so it really depends. If we're starting to see that rotation from the quant names, which I think we're starting to see, you're seeing them drop all those names which had big momentum, IREN, IONQ, MBTS, RGTI, those have all dropped, all right, because they were just momentum plays. So we've made our money on those if you got in. Lots of those, unfortunately, never picked me up. And they're starting to rotate into the mag names for earnings, all right? And if we have good earnings, we're going to have that sort of Santa Claus rally all the way into January. Goog. Strong gap up there, all right? So yesterday, the news was OpenAI is launching a web browser. Oh, no, Google's not going to be all right. Let's sell this off. Shut up, all right? Google's been around forever. Let's not panic, everyone. That was a great buying opportunity in Goog yesterday. And guess what? They're going to look for breakout. And I'm sure they're going to have absolutely monstrous earnings, which I think on next week. Right, so no one's really looking to sell too hard. Let's see. If they break down under those levels, we can think about if they're going to wash. But I don't see that happening. Meta, same story. In that recovery mode, back towards this old range. There's your old range. fail breakdown, fail breakdown, fail breakout, breakdown, now in recovery. Can it reclaim 40s to go back up towards those 800s for earnings? That's the question we're asking on Meta. Lower time frame, looks good. All right, just consolidation there. All the time it's holding this old range, 716s, you look good. Opening up pretty much flat. Microsoft, that's a big gap up. Must have had news. I'm guessing it's that OpenAI AI news from yesterday. All right, gapping up. Can it hold bids for a continuation right there? Let's zoom out of here. Next target would be 523s, 525s, and all-time highs 530. So same kind of thing we're seeing across the mag. We see that drift down, consolidation starting to turn the other way. So mag overall higher time frame, all looking very, very similar. Nvidia not looking so good, but it's trying. All right, remember, Nvidia's been up over 100% this year. Put in a peak formation up here, right, backside, coming back down into the old range we broke out from, and it's just trapped here. It's going to have to build out more liquidity. It's not a chart I'm interested in at the moment on Nvidia. Tesla, this is the big one, right? Earnings tonight after the bell. If you've traded Tesla before, you know that last hour today is going to get wonky. So we don't know what they want to do here with Tesla. They've got a big earnings call as well after the bell today with some like products being shown. So let's see, can they base over sort of 35s? Any base over 35s, they're looking for that all-time high rotation. So I'd say you've got supply right now, 63 up to 80. This is supply. Everyone up here got trapped, all right? And you've got an ability to try and hold above, but who knows? It's a wild horse, that Tesla. I'm sure the implied move is absolutely monstrous. It always is. So if anyone knows in chat what that implied move is, I'm sure it's massive. I'm sure it's 40 points each way, maybe even more. So just be careful. It's normally about 8 to 10%, I think, on Tesla. Okay, so much of the same. Nothing's really changed. It's the best way to look at it. Nothing's really changed. How long we got here? 90 seconds. I need to get coffee. I haven't got my coffee yet. That looks wrong. There we go. Okay, good morning, everyone. Not going to get a chance to go through all the mornings today, but good morning. Thank you for joining. Welcome. Let's see what you guys are saying on the poll. Most of you think we stay in the range, right? 50% of you thinking we stay in the range. But good morning, everyone. Try and get through them. John Dennis, Noah, Jeff, Clint, Jesse, NRS, Mike, Ken, Miguel, Inforis, JJ, Silem, Thumper, Calypso, Glenn, Raphael, Array, Marek, Lou, Bert, Brandon, Peter, Leron, Myron, Troy, Toby, John Ball, Tonio, Sergio, Larry, Trader on Tilt, Garbear, ERF, Chris, BU, Just Ain't Right, Lindell, LJ, Marek, Charles, Christy, E.T., Peter, Capt, Mo, One-on-One, Shane, Psychosis, Bart, Priska, Tyre, Greg, Alan, Owen, Intas, The Daily Tale, Mr. C, Mo17, Stefan, Firewater, PD. Morning, 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 morning. We did it. Just in time. Look at that. 5 seconds left. Right. Let's see what we get in this morning open then. Let's see what we get. So range rotation is the name of the game today. Breakouts and failed breakouts. And let's just have a look. Let this settle down for a moment or two. I've got to adjust some of my levels here. Give me a second, folks. Playing catch up here. So coming back down to that Globex level so far. And we know there's some stops under there. So maybe they go and wash all of those. And if they do, and they get a breakdown, the question is that bull sitting underneath waiting to trap all those bears? That's the question I would have right now in this market. I think is probable. Right, here's Globex. So we're going for those stops already by the looks of it. Strong selling here at the open. Apple red, Amazon red, Meta red, Nvidia red. There's Globex being tagged. We've got stops below. I'd expect those stops to get taken. All right, I'm going to expect these stops to be taken. We've come this strong down Any rebalance probably gets forced lower at this point, maybe down towards previous day low. I would expect those stops down there to get taken. We got very, very close. Let me zoom this in. Sorry, I'm playing catch up, trying to get my NinjaTrader charts looking the same because I haven't had a chance to get all those levels in this morning. All right, so watching here very, very carefully if a rebalance gets sold into. So does any pop-up get sold into here for lower prices? We do have demand below. Make sure I move this up a bit into that old level. Okay. That was a pretty decent move out the gate, wasn't it? Back down to that same level they've been bidding off, 50, 60 points. I'd like to see pops sold into here just to go and clear out those stops underneath. I know we've taken glowbacks, but there are a ton of stops underneath. So I would like 204s. Maybe those 200 players are still there. Yes. Okay, those 200 players are still there and below. So I'd like a pop-up here to be sold into to clean that level out. And once we clean that level out, you know, you can get runners maybe if they want to go deeper, and we're going to expect a bear trap under those levels. All right, so we want pop-ups to be sold into ideally. I don't really want to bid in front of this range before we've cleared out those levels. So there's the first pop-up. Can we get some follow-through here under 200s? All right, here we go. Under glowbacks, is there any follow-through under here? We know buyers have been sat down here. We just want to clear out some of the levels first. That's all I'm looking for. Can we clear out some of those levels first? Where's that previous week high? Pretty deep, actually, 179. Have a look at the mag. Microsoft, 0.5% up. Google, 1.72% up. Very, very strong. Everything else in a sell so far this morning. VIX coming into that key level we talked about earlier as well. So currently trading into that first level of supply, sort of 1834-ish. If it gets through that, we're going to see a bigger wash in this market. Come on, market, come down for us. Come and clear out these levels, and we can get a play both sides. Come and clear out these levels. Here we go. There's previous day low, so TP1 here. Come on, got any more? Got any more juice? Lovely. Let's keep coming. Lovely. Moving my stop to previous day low now. Looking for previous week high. It's going to be one of those days where we're done early again. Thank you very much. Pay the trader. All right, can we get down into 179s? I'm going to be slightly risk off. All right, I'm not adding short anymore now that we've broken down. I'm expecting bulls to come in at some point here. So we're playing this short. See if we can get this previous week high, 179. Tagging some in front of that. Oh, wrong hotkey. Hit my Windows button. All right, so just down to small size here. See if we can get an acceleration through. What's going on my camera? You can't see me, can you? I'm slightly off screen. All right, so this previous week high is red line. And if we get through that, we've got bigger demand down here, folks. Looking good, though. It's a nice early trade. All right, I'm going to move my stop to previous day low for the runner. I'm going to get a coffee here because we're already locked in. Great money. Absolutely perfect. Be right back. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Now, just be careful here because we know this is high time frame demand. We're starting to come in. If you look at that H1 wick, in fact, I can move this up so you can see it. The H1 wick from Thursday, the 16th of October, we've just gone wick to wick. Right, we can dive down lower. Edge of value will be into 113s, but I would not want to be short in this blue box. Your runners only. What a beautiful, beautiful start of the day. This is what we're looking for. I've got to sort my OBS out, haven't I? Because you guys can barely see me. What's gone on here? What has gone on here? All right, starting to see that reaction from the start of demand. All right, so again, no more shorts here for me. We've just cleaned everything up. This is what we were looking for this morning. If it keeps going lower, great, but I expect this market to find some bids soon. So maybe it doesn't. Maybe we go into the old range, but until we do that, I'm risk off. We just locked in a very, very easy trade there. This is very, very nice. Big sell candle. There's your bear flag. There's the VWAP. There's the sell. TP1, TP2. Thanks for playing, team. This was a really nice, easy move. Low hanging fruit now taken. We've done the job. We've taken the low hanging fruit. If it wants to get very weak, previous week value area high is all the way down here. 974. I would also watch. Is this still building out? There's a decent volume shelf into 115. All right, there is a decent volume shelf into 115. So yes, in this block here, basically. 115 is massive, the edge of this. So I'd watch that. But yeah, no more shorts for me. Because the main trend is still up. Main trend's still up. I'm not going to get caught down here. Nice. Peter got it. Clint got it. Love it. Yeah, who got that with me? I know it was a quick on the trigger day. Sometimes that's what happens. Money's made. Look, we're what? I made my money in the first 5 minutes today. Job done. What a beautiful day. This is when you're like, all right, done. Thank you very much, Mr. Range. You probably trapped bears outside of this, and maybe you rip upside now. Fine. We're not one of those bears who get trapped outside of the range. We're the ones that take profits into that. So who got it? Yes, Peter got it. Clint got it. Ken got it. Array got it. Priska got it. John Dennis, Minji, Bart, Chris Trades got it. Big W, Chris says. Love it. Love to see it. Marlon got it. Nice. Chris Thorne got it. FC Mike got it. Perfect. 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 Well done, team. Well done. Low hanging fruit taken. Now, it's possible if they reject these levels, they might want to dig lower. But for me, the opportunity was into this range. That is the opportunity. There is no more opportunity. It might drift lower. So if you have more of an appetite, sure, by all means, if you want to have another go at this. But just know, I think the bear trap will live in here somewhere. Remember, yesterday we talked about the same thing. If they do this, and we know this is a failed auction, and guess where they're going to go? Back to the upside, especially if they reclaim previous day's value. Especially if they reclaim that. Lovely, lovely, lovely work. There's previous day low. So you can see those bears look like they might have got caught down there yet again. All right, so let's see if we reclaim here or not. I've got to get my anchor back on. Again, I forgot to put your indicator on, Coop. I'm having a nightmare there with that, haven't I? Would have saved me so much problems. Right, let's get this locked. There we go. All right, so reclaiming. Who'd have guessed? Who would have guessed that bears would attack the lows and get themselves caught so far? So anyone who got short, remember, breakout shorts would have come in underneath previous week high looking for a rotation. They are now already 30, 40 points out the money. And they're already thinking, damn, why did I do that? That was stupid. That was an edge of a range. Okay, and we're reclaiming it. So here we go, folks. This is everything we went over pre-market. So if you were brave enough to be buying down here in this demand box, you are in the money. If we reclaim Globex, we're going to go previous day value area low and then New York high. So you can play both sides of this like we talked about. Have to see if they build out. For me, I'd want to see a higher low put in to be confident bulls are in control. They look in control, but I'd want to see a higher low put in because this can be a sweep to go back down. So I'd just wait to see now. InfoRisk got it. Jack got it. NGU got it. Omalabi got it. Liron got it. GG got it. Quick win, Daniel. Nice. Bit early for the session for you. Gonna have to wait to see the trap form. Yeah, that's fine, man. Stick to your rules. Grab the low and you're long. Nice, PD. Well, you look good right now, don't you? W on the buy back up. Nice, JJ. So you're taking the bear trap for the move back up. You just want to see acceptance into the old range now. Aintas up 300. Charles Kirk. Clunch, sorry. W there. Tyre Wood. W, nice. in this long from previous day low. Nice, Peter. Yeah, so now how will you know that bulls are in total control? Well, if you have pullbacks which start to hold, all right, if they offer a pullback and we're holding this, you're looking for that rotation into previous day value. Through that, we're going to look for point of control, Globex, and value area high. Let's have a quick look at the MAG. Tesla now green, Nvidia green, Microsoft green, Google 2% up, Meta not far from red to green. You guys look great. That bear trap was phenomenal. Think how many bears are crying right now because they do not understand that underneath this area here, underneath here, is where the bears are going to get trapped. We talked about it earlier in the day, didn't we? Talked about it pre-market. Hopefully you guys will learn to see that. Underneath swing lows are where traps happen. Overall, we're bullish. So we played down to the trap and we covered all our position here. And some of you were good enough to get long. So here's your VWAP. So you're already at TP1, previous day value, area low, and VWAP. This is a big level. Why? Because yesterday's range was a balanced range here. All right, you need to find acceptance into this range to drive higher. Otherwise, this can be a move back to balance, and they say, no, we're not ready yet. Okay, we come back down. Does this hold? Maybe. Are you ready yet? No, we come back down. It can be a new balanced range down here all day if it really wants. All right, so just play what's in front of you. Don't try and expect too much. Remember, we don't have a lot of news today. Yes, Ty Woods. Yeah, I remember you saying yesterday, not a great start, and you fought back. Nice work, buddy. Way to go. That's why you eat your losses, you come back the next day, right? Perfect. Troy, W for you too on the buy. NRS, W on the way up. Alan got it as well. Raphael got the bounce as well. Already partialing. Yeah, you got to be partialing here in front of previous day value. Paul D, 2.3 thousand, just playing the long. Nice. Runners only now, Peter. Yeah, nice, 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 nice. Good work, team. Good work, team. Love to see it. The regulars making money. So do me a favor, smash that like button for me, because I've given you 2 trades here this morning already. You had the short on the way down and this bullish move back up. There's previous day value. Here's your TP. You must be taking some profit into this move. You absolutely have to be taking some profit here. No guarantee it finds acceptance into yesterday's range. Okay, so you've played the bear trap into the edge of the range. If you find acceptance, you're laughing because you can go PDC close the gap 865 and above. But just please be smart and pay yourself, right? We're still early in the session. It's not even 15 minutes into this session yet. You guys are laughing, making money. Just be smart. Where is my volume? Let's put this on from this morning. There we go. All right, so trying to bid over value right now. Can it find acceptance into that New York Open print would be good. If we go above that New York Open print, obviously we go red to green on the New York session and bulls take complete control, and then we can really attack. So we are trying to drift higher here. So New York Open, your next target. You're almost there. You're almost there, folks. You're almost there. New York Open next target, and we might squeeze straight through that. If it can get up to there, we might squeeze straight through it. This blue line above you is the New York Open. So tagging it, that's your TP2. And then you can think about up here, right? This is PDC. So this will be gap fill, right? Here's New York Open, TP2, TP3, TP4, TP5. Opening range now set as well, folks. Opening range now set. Lovely work. What a beautiful day. This is everything we wanted. It happened very early in the session. Phenomenal. Back-to-back W's for Psychosis. Love it. ETW on the way up. John Dennis. Miguel got it. Took the long at previous week high. Nice, O&J. Good work, team. I love it. Eric got it. Saying, thanks, Alex. You're welcome. Aintas, up 540. I'm done for the day. Nice work, bud. That's all you need, right? Do that every day. Rinse, repeat. Nice money. Easy money. Especially when it happens this early. Think about it, guys. We've traded for 15 minutes. Most of you have probably made your daily goal. Daily tail. Made money both ways. Good work. Alex, did you manage to buy puts in gold? I didn't take puts. I got long on GLL. I can show you the conversation with my father, who I got long on GLL at the perfect time, right in front of the 4-4, where they had that massive option wall. And he sold yesterday for 63 cents. Let's have a look where GLL is. What a wally. All right, so I've got him. I'm long in this as well. Right, if you didn't know, this is a short ETF versus gold. So we are long from here. He sold here. I'll give you an idea of how far this can go if gold has a flush. Hello. This is why I'm long in the inverse ETF. Now, it is leveraged. I don't advise you guys playing this. You have to understand how it works. But I would love to get a move into this shelf here at 20s, and I'll take some off before that anyway. But yes, I am short gold by being long GLL. That's the best way of saying it. I'm leveraged in the ETF. Okay. Money made early can now chill. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Quite right, Peter. Quite right. These are the best days, aren't they? You make your money and you're like, hey, beautiful. Now we just wait and have some fun, and if a beautiful setup comes, we can take it. But I'm up from the bottom. Nice call, bro. Nah, lovely work. O&J. Yeah, thanks, Alex. My contextual skills are improving. Picking good levels to trade at. That's absolutely the key. Being the sniper that we talk about, not being the noob playing Call of Duty, walking in, killing all your mates in hardcore, right? We're the sniper. The sniper lived today. We had one snipe shot. Big kill candle. We had low-hanging fruit down here. Boom, snipe number one. All the really pro snipers, which were you guys today, were living in this blue box when we were going to go snipe back up to the upside. Beautiful snipe number two. All the wallies were going long, 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 blow up. Short, 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 blow up, all right? So they don't understand how this market is currently moving. Range rotation is very different to a trending market. Very, very different. If you're new to the stream, because I can see we've got new names and numbers in here every day, smash that like button. We're going to give away Apex accounts. I've got some more Apex accounts to give away today. If you want to learn how I trade, there's tons of free education on my YouTube. All right, I would advise you stay there first. Don't spend your money. Make sure you like how I teach. If you like how I teach, if it makes sense to you, then maybe I'm the guy to help you improve your trading. You can do some of the courses. There's free courses, there's beginner courses, and there's a full mentorship program, 20-hour course. All right, still buying continuation pattern here being formed so far. They're trying to get through this New York high. Acceptance through the New York high comes up to this edge. I've got to just double check what that edge here is. No, we can move you. You can get out of it. So still buying this up, and you're looking for these levels. So gap fill here in just shy of 300, 295, and then point of control above. Mag looking a little bit better. Amazon, the heavy one today, which is good. Come back down to earth for me, Amazon, so I can buy you. Apple having a pullback day, 1% down, but again, it's above the old all-time highs. This is what I want to see on Apple. A bit of consolidation here for a day or two, and then rip some new faces would be ideal. AMD doing the same kind of thing. It's sort of flat right now, but we're there or thereabouts near those old all-time highs. This is what I want to see. Just consolidate. Kavana, I missed my puts there. Dang. I'm guessing you got filled, Coop. That's 5% down off that level. Ah, mother. That's easy money. Did you get it, Coop? I know you were waiting to get filled on that. Hopefully you got it. So this is one of the advantages for being in the Discord, folks, is I do talk about the swing positions I am looking for, and you'll see them right here. I called Kavana. I think it was over the weekend. Where is it? Somewhere here. Yes, here you go. So I was looking for shorts on this. Shorts and puts on Kavana starting to look viable. And today's the day. Popped up the last 2 days and should have got filled on that. All right, still looking good. If you're bullish, still looking good. If you bought this dip on value, still looks okay. I would be, for me, it's beyond my appetite now, but you look good. It's trying to break through that New York level. Here's your New York. So if we squeeze through that, you've got your opening range above that, and then you've got gap fill into PDC. So there's New York taken. ES is lagging very, very far behind right now. Here's your opening range high. And if they go through that, you get PDC, you get gap fill. Is Mr. ES going to wake up today? Is banking having a bad day or something, or healthcare? I've not looked. It must be a sector down. Here's your opening range high. Continuation coming here, folks. So here's your TP2. And where is that pivot from pre-market? 280s. All right. I think you're going to get the 300s here. You're going to fill gap up to this yellow line. So you look good for gap fill up into here right now. You look good for that gap fill. Yes, very, very weak. So VIX absolutely ran through that supply level. If anyone watched it, 1835, absolutely ripped faces up into the 19s and got stuffed there. It got stuffed there at 19s again and is trading right back down. So a big, big rip up on the VIX, which is holding ES down right now. Let me just check. There must be a sector having some struggles here today. There's got to be. Let me have a little look. Healthcare's down, retail's down, financials. Okay, not too heavy though. Visa down, BAC down, utilities down as well. Consumer defense down. Does that mean that Dixie's having a better day? Dixie's solid. Interesting. So tech's looking the strongest out there. Nvidia, AVGO, Microsoft, Oracle all holding on well. Google obviously and Meta having a strong day. But a bit of a mixed bag. I'm going to show you what I'm looking at on the board. I'm going to zoom this down for you guys. All right, just having a quick look at the sectors. So you can see here, financials down, utilities down. Financials are not in the queues, so that's why I'm interested in that. Same with healthcare. Healthcare down again, not in the queues. So making it a bit harder for ES to run higher today. That's why you've got divergence. Yes, I think it's today, isn't it? Options on the VIX is today, I think. There's your break. You still look good. So if you're long, you look good for that gap fill. That's what I'd be looking for. That's your next target. Gap fill here. Looking good. So TP2 about to hit. Don't be a dick for a tick. You can take some money off the table here. QQQ has filled its gap now. It did just tap it. So don't be scared to take some money. Cash has filled its gap. Futures didn't quite, but cash did just fill there. So just be mindful of that. You have divergence versus the cash market, the ETFs. Nice. Lovely work. Lovely work. So we're green on the date. We're above New York Open. We're inside previous day's value. All right. Understand where we are in terms of what's gone on now. Here's your previous day. Here's overnight. Here's the failed breakdown. There's the turn inside this morning. All right. And you are see money, take money because we're still in a range. Do not forget that. This is not like, oh, we're pro trend. We're going to all-time highs. No, we are still in a range. You are see money, take money. We just know that this here was the edge of the range with stops. We ran the stops, we turn inside. It's very possible this comes back down to here if it wants. If it holds previous day's value, then we know we're just going to trade inside yesterday's range, which is denoted by these levels. All right, this is yesterday's net range. We're not pro-trend until we get outside of that range. So be smart is what I'm saying. Don't expect too much. Don't be buying high in the range rotation. Four-hour long wick. Yes, well, it's come right down to that level, isn't it? We go back to what we talked about this morning, pre-market. This is why it's important to go through a set routine every day. Understanding. Pre-market. All right, what is this potentially building out? Basically, continuation pattern. Where do the stops live? Here. Where are the breakout shorts? Here. What happens? 95% of traders lose. What do they all do? They play breakouts. All right, this is the worst breakout in the book you can play. A breakout short in a market trending higher. Terrible. You're asking to get hurt, right? You're absolutely asking for it. So where do they come to? Hello, Mr. Wick. Right, we talked about him. Wick to wick. Bulls step in. Bears got trapped in here. We go back inside. Now, if we get acceptance above this, all-time highs, and we try and break out the other side. So again, understanding narrative, understanding the whys, and trading in those areas is going to save you. All right, it's going to save you. Do you mark out all of these different levels manually? Yes, everything's, well, the boxes, boxes are all done manually. I draw the boxes manually. The previous day value levels are done manually. All right, so I have, you know, my session volume on, and I draw them manually at the end of each session for the previous day. However, these levels are all come on the flow zone system. Now I've taken these off so I can see everything a bit more clearly, but you will learn what these all are when you play. But yes, the flow zone system will give you a huge amount of levels. Oh, what have I done wrong on here? Come back. There we go. All right, so with the flow zone system Pro, you will get opening range, right? So your white lines, opening range, initial balance will come when we print another 30 minutes. You will get the New York Open, the blue level. You will get previous day, open, close, high, and low. Previous week, open, high, close, and low. You will get the Globex, right, which I have set to orange, right? So all the key levels that we're looking at are printed automatically. And I will try and do an update if I can figure out, can I get it to print out the previous day's value? If I can do that, I'm just going to add it to the, I'm not going to make a new one. I'll just add it to the old one. So if we can get an update in there with it, I'll do it. PD exited at the orb high looking for the short entry. Well, yeah, I mean, you do have opening range here. I would just be aware you haven't got a whole lot to play with, but it's possible. You're seeing weakness in ES. It could drag us down. I'd be watching this level here. This is where bulls came back in. All right, so maybe they come back down to here and protect. I don't know. I'm just expecting rotation today. I'm really uninterested at this point because we've made our money. As soon as I make my money like that and the low-hanging fruit goes, you know what I'm like, folks. I'm like, well, it's going to have to really, really, really show me something special to make me want to get into it. Exactly, BU. Exactly. That's exactly like me. That's the way to trade. Don't be tempted to be lured back in when you've made your money. Like, imagine what happened today is we went to Vegas, right? We went to the Win. We took our money. We exchanged it for chips. We sat down at blackjack and we rolled the dice and it went ace, ace. And we went, oh, let's go. All right, cash me out. And then you go, all right, well, I've made some money. I'll play with house money. One more hand. Let's go. Ace, ace. All right, I'm done. Let's go and have some fun in the casino now. Let's go for dinner. That's what happened. We don't sit there and go, all right, let's try again. Oh, 4-3. Fuck, hit me, bus. That's not what we do. That's what we don't do. It's given us pocket aces twice. We've hit blackjack twice. It's the best way of looking at it. Am I splitting those aces? Yeah, exactly. Is just for an example, all right? Just for an example. No, I'm not splitting those aces in this example because we take the money and we walk. Right, it's holding previous day's value here. You can see it's built out a shelf here, and we have relative strength in the Qs. There's a point of control on the session, previous day value, VWAP. It's trying to hold this right now to complete that gap fill. We already filled that gap in the cash market, so it doesn't have to come up here if it doesn't want to. Qs have relative strength. ES weaker. ES is trying to drive down here right now. Very, very different. You have divergence in the charts. GOL looking good. I'd love GC to break down under 4,000 and go to those 3.8 levels. Here you go. So potential gap fill still on deck. It doesn't have to do it because QQQ already did it. Remember we talked about that. QQQ already filled the gap this morning. It bid off, QQQ bid off the higher time frame algo straight up to that gap fill. It was literally perfect. Anyone that playing the higher time frame algo, I know a couple of you play solely that. Here we go. Oh, John, not only did we win, we had a second half dominating performance. Me and Adam, or you're known as Bowden in chat, we're messaging each other saying, oh, TP1, 4 goals, runners, 7 goals. Just being stupid. But yeah, it was a great performance. Really happy. Gokirez, that's the main thing, getting him on the chart. What is going on? Wakey, wakey, here we go. Pause there on the book map for a bit. All right, liquidity above. You can see these passive sellers up here, 85, 90, 95, 300. They're looking for that gap fill. They're looking to sell into that gap fill. ES just trapped between its 2 VWAPs. I'm looking at a 5-minute chart on ES right now. It looks horrific. It's just wedged in. So making lower highs and making higher lows. Terrible looking chart on a 5-minute. Is there anything on how to spot fake outs? Seems like ES is weak. Also, I see that a lot of liquidity below since Monday. Liquidity below since Monday on ES. Yes, it's still got those lows to run into 59 if it wants. Easiest way to spot fake outs, really. You shouldn't be a breakout trader unless there's a reason for it. We talked about this yesterday, unless there's a reason for it to have a continuation. So fake outs normally happen when there's no reason for a continuation to take place on the breakout, would be the first thing to say. Secondly, you want to be watching volume. Is there aggressive volume and are they in control? Like we talk about all the time. If we see aggressive volume, let's say down here this morning, all right, let's say at this low, these 2 candles here. So underneath previous day low, this level here, all right? Let's think about this here. Volume came in. These are all sellers. The last sell print really is here. Then we see buying come in, absorption. They try and sell. Can we break this low? No. What then happens here? Delta, absorption. So this changes from strong selling to strong buying. This is the buyers saying we're not going lower. This is the pivot point. What happens when we get into here? They try, and the sellers fail. We don't move lower on sell volume. So what happens? They stop out. It's all about volume. Volume will denote the keys. Time and price, bollocks. Volume and price. Volume and price, then time. I do care about time because there are points in which liquidity comes into the market, like the 4-hour candles. Why? It's got nothing to do with an algo or whatever he says. It's nothing to do with that. It's traders trading off that time frame. That's all it is. So why do we get injection of volume at 10 a.m.? Because people who trade 4-hour time frames are coming in. Simple as that. Same as every 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 5 minutes, because traders trading that time frame will execute. Because remember, most traders are buying above or below a previous swing or in the open and close of a candle. So 4-hour traders are interested on that 4-hour exchange, which happened where 10 a.m. today was right here. So this area here becomes of interest to people playing 4-hour and 1 hour and everything below it. 30-minute, 15-minute, 5-minute, right? 4-hour traders not really interested as we drift into these levels. Their level was up here that they're interested in playing. Okay, just more volume being built out. I'm not interested in this. All right, look at up here. Higher time frame conditions are what? Liquidity being built. Where is Mr. Algo? I'm trying to see him right now. Where's my algos? They must be coiled tight somewhere. Well, there's the lower time frame. Where's my higher time frame? Here as well. Yes, very tightly coiled. That's why I couldn't see them. So higher time frame algo is here, lower time frame algo is here. Look how tight we are here, folks. Something will give soon enough. We cannot stay like that for too long. We cannot stay like this for too long. Tonio, massive red candle again. Did you really? What happened yesterday, my friend? Did you contact them? Did they do anything for you? Hopefully they did. I will say one thing on this stream. I don't want to get into the politics of prop firm trading. Okay, but I will tell you this. I have made my feelings clear on Top Step and Top Step X and the reasons you don't have a monopoly for a very, very long time. There's a reason I won't trade on Top Step. It's called ethics. We talked about it yesterday. How they've handled this situation with the other prop firms is nothing short of an absolute effing disgrace. Now, if you trade on Top Step, maybe you're okay that they've given you a free XFA or whatever. Maybe that's enough to, not rub you up the wrong way. But how they've treated the other prop firms by having control of the data is a disgrace. And it is why I will not trade with them until they start fixing up. They need to put a COO and an ethics counselor into that place because it's disgusting what's gone on there. Absolutely disgusting. So if you're going to trade, right, don't trade with Project X. You're asking for issues. It's always been the way that the cracks are starting to show. The developers now left. They don't even have anyone to fix it anymore, right? So be careful with that. Sure, trade with Top Step, make your money, but just know Mr. CEO over there, not the biggest fan right now. I'm sure he's a really nice guy to have a beer with, but what happened yesterday is not good. All right, that's all I'm saying on it. There you go. Oh, nice, Tony. I knew that would happen. They must have had so many people contact them. That's great to hear. On the MES, 676550 has had no close on the M5 since yesterday's rally from this price. Yeah, MES, like ES is just in that wedge. It's trying to break out to the upside, but it's just stuck between the two VWAPs and it's stuck right at PDC. Same on the spiders. I'll give you a little readout on the MAG because we haven't done that for a minute. And it's still trying to hold above previous day's value right now. It's trying to close this gap. The one thing is, this gap's already been closed on cash, but that's what it's trying to do. I'll give you a readout of the MAG quickly. Okay, Tesla 0.22% down. Apple 0.85% down. Amazon, the weakest one, 1.47% down. When we look at the upside, Nvidia 0.75% up, Meta 0.80% up, Microsoft 1.24% up, Google 1.57% up. So a bit of a mixed bag here in the MAG. And we're probably waiting for those Tesla earnings. Honestly, we probably want to wait and see what happens with Tesla. AMD finding a bid here this morning. Sorry, folks, trying to read everything here. I'm a bit salty about the free XFA. I'd rather have my 11K day. Exactly, Shane. Exactly. Sorry. We don't want to give you your money, but here's something which costs us nothing and would equivalently cost you 150 bucks. Are you fucking kidding me? Do you think that would work if you worked for, let's say Morgan Stanley? You're long. You're long in an asset. The screens go down. they come back to life and they go, oh, we're not paying you that because the screens went down, but you know what, we'll buy you a beer for that $1 million you should have made. No, absolute bollocks. Yes, I don't trade with Rhythmic. I used to trade with them, but I've had much better luck since moving over to Tradeify probably 18 months ago now or something. Yeah, exactly, Peter. The EMA, like, yeah, I'm not going to disrespect them too much, but yes, the moving averages and the VWAPs are always incorrect on Project X. The most basic things. You're trading with incorrect numbers half the time, and I'm sure if you put volume on there, that'll be an issue as well. Yeah, you're starting to see that move outside of that 5 minute on the ES now. Starting to see the same thing here in ES in NQ. Some weakness coming in. Just remember, this was the edge of range. All right. Previous day's range was all down here. We've already, don't do that. We've already cleaned up the wicks down below. So where did buyers come in? They came in here. It might be that we come back into here and protect it for the move upside. But again, your current range on the day now is here. This is your value on the day. You've let go of this volume. All the time you're under this volume, it can build out a new shelf here maybe. I'm really like, the range has got small. Just think about this. We're trading what, from 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. We're trading 50 points edge to edge here. Maybe a little bit more if it wants to test down here. I'm not really so interested. I'm going to let it pick a direction, let people get trapped. Even if that's tomorrow. If we do a failed breakout of this low today and we consolidate and then Tesla has good earnings and we go upside tomorrow, then we're going to have 2 days of trapped participants in the market to trade upside. And if we fail, we can think about that move back downside. Since it looks like a range day and we made some good money, should we be looking for trades near the top or bottom with confirmed flow zones? Yes, technically you should be trading the edges. What I'd say at the moment is ES still needs to come and clear out downside. VIX is starting to find a bid now above that 1835. So we've flipped supply into potential demand here on the VIX. I'm not looking to take a long here personally. I just want this to settle down. Let it, for me, this is very much like yesterday. We are now just building liquidity. All right, we haven't had acceptance over yesterday's value. Right, so maybe it wants to come and gut check further. I don't know, folks. I don't know, but what I do know is we swept everyone out that was interested in trading downside to, and you traded upside, and you filled the gap. Okay, you didn't fill it on the Q, on NQ, but if you go to QQQ, you will see we filled the gap. All right, we filled the gap on the cash market. That's why I kept saying to you, take profit here, don't be a dick for a tick because you filled it on the cash market. There's the divergence. That's why we watch the cash market. It is important. Imagine you were trading long looking for this and you didn't watch QQQ and you're like, well, why has it failed? Well, we did fill it on cash and cash is king. Okay, back to Globex here. ES might want to come and clean out all those levels, honestly. It might want to come and clean out all of those levels. Previous day low here. You're starting to see some aggressive selling here at this point. Back towards low of day. ES coming to clean out those levels now. NQ, remember, doesn't need to go lower if it doesn't want to because it's already cleared everything out. ES, where are those swing points on ES? ES can trade down to 59.25 potentially if it wants to. But remember, bear traps can live down here. They lived down here earlier. We can protect these lows. Remember, buyers came in here earlier. We already know that this level right here is where sellers got trapped earlier, don't we? Because we reacted off this. We're coming back to it. If we build out here and then fail, more inclined for downside. But until that point, I'd be somewhat careful. I just see this as a liquidity build out for now. Foster Scott says bollocks. I love that word. And also bloke. Very, very English and London of me. Do you rely on trading views volume data? Yes, I'm watching that. Oh, what I am going to do though is I will do a video this weekend now that volume's become free for NinjaTrader. I'm going to set it up on my screen and I'll do an educational video on how to do that now that it's become free. Henrik win on that short. Tonio took the win on the short. Nice. And you just see the range rotation just failing outside of current value. Back to VWAP we go. Do they fail VWAP and come back to the lows, or do we go back to previous day value area low and just keep rotating, 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 rotating? Remember, the market's job right now is to get impatient traders who don't trade the edges stuck. Why? Because it's going to allow a bigger move. You got short under the New York. Yeah, very nice. So some of you were talking about it earlier, weren't you? We were looking for the short from the opening range, right? So failing above the opening range, maybe this, offered that move back down into here, and you've got to take profit into this guy here, right? Because this is demand, isn't it? It's where we bid up off. There's a low volume node into VWAP here. If they protect that, they can go lower. So I'd say this kind of area here, 35 to 37, maybe even up to 42. If sellers come into you there, they retest that low, not necessarily this low, but this low here. And if they get follow through downside, if they reclaim that, we just go all the way back up to previous day value, I would imagine. ES back to its VWAP. It did take out low of day. It did not take out previous day low on VWAP, on ES. Gosh, I can't talk. My brain, I slept terribly last night, I must say. My brain is struggling a little bit this morning. PD, someone is going to get hurt when this 2-day range breaks. Yep, that's exactly it. That's why we are building this 2-day range. That's exactly why. Because it wants participants trapped. Once you understand that, once you understand how the market builds volume, how it builds traders that are trapped. So we've already traded through this low volume. The high volume node is just hidden here to 42. They're failing to get through that so far. Zoom this in a bit. I don't like the position of this today. There we go, that's better. Maybe I can get rid of, no, let's turn the brightness up a little bit. There we go. So failing that high volume node, you can see it right here, just in front of it. If they sell this, they're going to retest those lows. ES still failing to get through its VWAPs so far. So we have a shelf above, right, point of control above. So a little high volume node here that we've just failed. If we trade through that, we'd probably come and test point of control. And we're just going to keep rotating. Yes, I'm gonna do it, Clint. In fact, if I get time, I'll try and do the video today. Because I haven't done it for myself yet. So if I get time, I'll do it today. Coop one time said, "All right, bloke," to me when I joined his meeting. Do you know what I get here? Some of my friends go, "Oh, you're such a pisser." I'm like, we don't say that. We might call you a pisshead, or we might say we're on a fucking piss, mate, or you're pissing me off. But no one gets called a pisser. It's like that's like something they'd put into oh, what's that? Ted Lasso. I can imagine them saying, the coach saying something like that. "Oh, you pisser." So dumb. He was at the Arsenal game last night. I don't know if you saw that. They must have been filming. They must have been filming. They were both at the Arsenal game. Okay, just stuck here. Rotation. Stuck at the flow zones right now. Rotation, rotation, rotation. ES back to VWAP. ES still hasn't cleared out the previous day lows. I'd be aware of that right now. Let's give you a little readout. Tesla, 0.72% down, so that sold off a bit more since we last looked at it. Nvidia, 1/3% up. Microsoft, 1% up. Meta, 1/4% up. Google, 1.62% up. Amazon, 1.73% down. Keep coming down, baby. Come low. Come into the 200s for me. Apple, 0.67% up. Down, holding above old all-time highs. Those 260s are the old all-time highs. Rotation, 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 rotation is all I'm expecting right now. Hit a W in this move down on the 5-minute gap, but took profits early. I was so worried about entering in the 50s, and it immediately retested, but it's held through. It looks good so far. It's rejecting so far, but again, we can find a bid here in the 20s if it wants and trade up. Or if you get follow through, we go and retest those lows. But Qs have relative strength right now. No doubt about it. Qs have relative strength in this market at the moment, but maybe you get that wash through. I'd say how you act into these 10s and 20s is kind of important. The edge of value, you can see that edge of current value on the session, this blue line here. Do you find acceptance below that or not? Really, I just treat this as a balanced profile right now, and it's currently under yesterday's profile. So technically, in terms of yesterday, it's bearish, but we know high time frame bulls are living under here. So you haven't got a lot of room to play with. There's not a lot of room to play with right now. I've never heard, all right, bloke. It threw me off. Yeah, man, it is funny. What are you guys saying? Flowzone, will you be doing an upgraded course for swing trading and long-term investments? I haven't thought about it, but I can do that if you want. Honestly, it's exactly the same principles, just on higher time frame. Like literally nothing changes. So if you want to see like my biggest trades of the year and why I got in, all right, we look for, right, we're always looking for markets in consolidation, especially if it's an investment. You want good companies which have room. All right, so we think about what happened this year in April. Big dump down on Apple into a key level right here. All right, pivot off. I missed this, but what do we have here? I was buying this at 202s, right? Actually, on the retest, I think I had some in here. We broke out. This is what we talked about, and then I added in here as well on the pullback in. Why? Breakout, retest, right? Same principles. Then what do? We drive. I haven't sold any because I expect a company this good to make new all-time highs. All right, still haven't sold any. And my targets, right? We go from swing high, swing low. What are my long-term targets? Sort of 305, 350s, right? It might take a few years to get there, but it will get there. No doubt about it. It's going to get there. So it's exactly the same principles. You're seeing that breakdown now in this market. Let's get back to you guys. But yes, we can do something. No worries, we can do something. All right, back into low of day then. You know, if you're short here, you've got to be covering. You've got to be covering some and holding runners, all right? You know that this is where buyers have been absorbing today and previous days. ES still looking for a breakdown lower right now. So 150s, there's a buyer on the tape here at 150s looking to get filled. And 170s and 160s, selling all the way up at 240s right now. So do they retest up into previous day low before selling down? But you should be covering some down here. You shouldn't be, you know, forcing your way into this market. Maybe you get that flush. I would love you guys to get that flush, those of you who are short in it. But just remember, we've pivoted off here all morning. ES still not taking previous day low. Once ES takes previous day low, you want to be very, very careful. Once ES takes that previous day low, you want to be careful. Can they sell through here? Can you go and test that opening range low that you set today? How long we got? 6 minutes until the initial balance. This is also feeling like it's going to be an initial balance range rotating day to me. All right, because we're just trading from one side of the extreme to the other over and over again. VIX finding a bid coming up to previous day high. Do you get a follow through here for you guys? Let's see. 90s here. Not seeing any aggressive selling here. In fact, quite the opposite at the moment. Retest 200s. Let's see if they fail 200s. So that over under for previous day low, basically. And if they get acceptance through it, they go Globex and they can go straight up to VWAP if they want. If they fail to follow through downside, that's where they will go. So bids on the tape here at 200. They flipped it. Let's move this. That's a bit better. Yes, no follow through, not cleaning up that previous day low. So divergence there in the markets. Nvidia coming back towards its close price right now. So starting to lose some ground a little bit on Nvidia. I'd say you've got a big decision to be made here pretty soon in this market at this previous day low. Either it's going to squeeze right back up to VWAP, or you will get a new low printed here, or at least back down to that previous week high, especially if ES wants to come lower, which it looks like it does at the moment. So previous day low, over under, being rejected. Previous week high, you've got trigger cover points down here. You must be covering some into this move. Here you go. Here's previous week high. Cover some here and then cover some into the current low of day. Remember, this is where bear traps live. This is where bear traps live. You must be covering some here. I know I'm a stuck record, but I'm just trying to help you guys out. And there's bids on the tape here, 170, 160, 150, and then there is a guide all the way down at 120. All right, so those of you who are short, you do look good here for maybe a little bit lower, but you've got to be paying yourself and moving your stop into the money. ES very close to previous day low. All right, so they might front run this. Just be careful. ES into previous day low. I would love you guys to get one nasty wash here for you guys. There you go. All right, you got it because ES took previous day low. All right, so lock in some money here. You're big into demand level now. Lock in some money here and just wait and see for the next reaction. Beautiful. So we've now flipped buyers to sellers. 170, you see there's a big bid there, big bid there, big bid there. He's now become a seller. He's on the offer. 240 passive on the offer. Look at this. Look at the strength of the selling that came through there as they got stopped out. 194, 259, small, and 48. So all the time we're under 170. Bears are now in control. Bears are in total control under 170. Right underneath here. This is where they came flying in. This is where all the bulls got stopped out. They came flying in, momentum downside, covering into here, folks. And if they get very weak today, then we can think about previous week value area high. I'd be somewhat surprised if they let it down there. We also need to think about that gap fill, which I've got marked out on QQQ, 605 to 603. Where is it? In here, one sec. Monday. Friday close. That's the gap. That's the gap. What was the 9:30 print? Sorry, folks, I just want to get this accurate. 9:30, yeah. That's the gap right there. So we're trading into that gap. All right, grey box is your gap fill. New week opening gap. That seems like the target right now. What is this guy? Old value. All right. Woo! That's a big wash. I'm actually somewhat gutted I'm not in that. All right, tapping onto the top of that gap. So this is the start of the new week opening gap, which trades all the way down to 985 if they're actually going to fill it. If they're actually going to fill it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's starting to really bleed now. ES, spy into that high time frame algo, just be aware. To move this, unfortunately. You can see bids on the offer, bids and offers, bids at 100s, offers up at 170 right now. But we're into that gap, right? You are into gap filled territory. The whole fill will be down to 86. Market's starting to bleed out a bit. Microsoft and Google still holding on. Everything else currently red. Again, bear traps can still live down here. I wouldn't be bullish down here, okay? You're not trying to pick a bottom down here against it. But if they reclaim, if we think about how they're going to set the initial balance, which is at this current low, right? If they do something like this, if you're an initial balance trader, then you might have a trade back up to here. They can fill this whole thing if they really want to. Finally, a good ranging day. I just adjusted my model yesterday, and wow, what a start. Nice, Tonio. Love it. Just found the channel, and I'm really impressed with how you explain everything. Awesome work. You're welcome. Thanks for joining, Order Flow. A lot of bulls hurt here because, yeah, lots of bulls will be hurt here if we keep drifting lower. For sure. I mean, they have a chance to retest previous week's value area high. I would not be bidding on this now. This is very different to earlier, right? Earlier, we cleaned out the levels, we trap, we go higher. We fail to get above previous day's value area high. We reject the old range. We trade lower into the gap. They can gap fill here. If they really want to test previous week's value area high, they can. This is strong momentum. Look at the difference now. Look at the selling. Look at the delta since we broke that low. Very, very different. You don't want to bid against strong selling, right? So you want to wait to see if they return in and they fail this, there might be a return back down to here. You can place your short side. And if they hold that, then we can play upside back above this. But until that point, I wouldn't be looking to buy dips at this point. Let the whales buy the dips and we can join in afterwards. Very different now. We've gone, look up here. Lower time frame, higher time frame, flip bearish for now. All right. Very different, this momentum. Very, very different. Yeah, IB low now set. Absolutely. So you do need to be, aware of that initial balance failed auction type play. Again, don't be entering short down here, folks. You are extended. Since we broke that 170s, we've flushed like another 70 points. You've got to let this turn back inside. It might be that it doesn't turn inside. It might be that it's straight pukes because the bulls are hurt now. It's very possible. We've also got, we're at the 5-day on the QQQ. VIX is absolutely gunning for upside here. So VIX looks like a delayed response. There was an 85% chance the VIX was going to trade upside Monday, Tuesday. It didn't. It's getting it on Wednesday, interestingly. So let's just see. Let's just see, folks. But we're into that gap. We're rebalancing that new week opening gap right now. Don't worry, Herbs. There's just next trade mentality. Just know, like you've seen it now. Next trade mentality. That's it, Henrik. That gap is the Friday to Monday gap. This grey box, that's that gap. All right, you can see some buyers trying it. Let this build up. Let this extend and squeeze up. Be aware that buyers can take control down here. But if we're going to play a short, all right, you're going to need to let this squeeze out, reprice some of this thin structure ideally. Oh, let's get rid of that now. Reprice, and we can also get rid of this because we've traded through it all. Reprice some of this structure. Ideally a 2-leg. Obviously TradingView doesn't want me to teach again today. Ideally a 2-leg into somewhere here and see if they sell that for a retest of this low. Once they do that, if they hold that, then there might be a swing back up. If they let go, all right, we're partial. And if they let go, we gap fill. And if we get very lucky, we get that move. Not fully convinced we get that move, but let's see. Let's see. But this was an extended, exaggerated move, very, very thin. And you can see they're trying to build volume here. There's a battle down here. We want to see it move away from this. We don't want to be short in here. If it goes short without us, it is what it is. We want to see it reprice. We get better value for that short back down, and we partial here and we hold for lower. Yes, basically, it doesn't necessarily need to come to the orb, but we had sellers come in here at 39s. The major liquidity break was 70. If we look at the book map, this major selling started in the 70s, right here. Then they repriced, and once they broke under that 200, this guy here, 422 lot here. We repriced, we came back down, he came back in 733 lots. So all the time we're under 200 right now, sellers are now in control, right? 200 to 275 will be rotation. All the time we're under 200, sellers are in control. As per the book map. That's done based on volume, on who's trading, who's in control. New attempt of a low of day, new attempt of 100 here. I'm definitely improving. I just need to refine a few things and keep minimum TP for futures trading. I think I've made a few mistakes recently, made me more anxious. Yeah, you've probably got some sort of, trading stress disorder, post-traumatic stress disorder. When you make errors and it probably makes you jumpy and stop jumping in. Just refine your process, scale down in terms of size if you need to, build that confidence up, and it will get easier. All right, here's the drift. Can we come and test some of these players? Big delta here. Like to see a test up back up towards some of these. Would be nice. I'm not looking for this long. I'm looking for this long to be a squeeze out, and then want to see how we react when we get up there. And if we get a backside move, we can play it back down into this volume, which we're now building up. So we want to see a reprice this into this, ideally, and then see how we act. This is where big selling came in. We had huge selling there on the order book. We just went over it. Thousands and thousands and thousands of lots came in around here. Sorry to hear that, Tonio. That's got to be tough. It's always tough. It's always tough. All right, about 100 of you currently watching, trading with me for free. It costs you absolutely nothing. Smash that like button. We get to 150 likes today. We're going to give away a free Apex account. Watching the VIX here. All right, it's trying to bid over 19. Previous day high, sort of 1887, 1890. If it can hold that and find a bid, we can go leg up on the VIX. It probably comes in back test sort of 1985. That would be the next level of supply all the way up to 2034. So let's see if VIX finds acceptance here. If it finds acceptance over previous day high and goes for a bid, we're going to make new lows. We would like to see this retrace more first. We need a second leg higher. We're just dancing at that initial balance right now. It's not ideal. If we move lower, then I think we get that 5-day, 20-day check on the ES for sure. We're at the 5-day right now on the NQ. 20-day, by the way, is right at previous week value area high. So that mean reversion trade will be all the way down to 24,980 if they do it. Please reprice higher first. Come on. Come on. You got to come higher first. We can't be trying to force this down here. Even if you break, we would like a move higher first. Please be kind. Come on. Come up. The big bid down there. 25k right now. Please come up. Don't. Up you come first, please. You're not going to play ball, are you? They're forcing the sells down here. Please squeeze them out first. Market. Spoofer on the tape up above us right now, annoyingly. Okay, please, relief first, please, so we can get a short here. If they do squeeze here, they can be quite violent because we've built out quite a lot of volume down here. So the edge of this shelf, sort of 122, 125, might as well call it 130. The edge of that shelf's pretty violent. If they do squeeze, it's very, very thin all the way up to 170s like we talked about. offering 35s here. Man, why do I feel like you're not going to play ball today? Probably because you're just not. I need the bathroom as well, which is the worst timing because I want this to squeeze up so I can get a fill. Nice, Aid. Lovely work. Lovely, lovely work, Aid. Nice, man. Second week back, right? So all green last week. Decent start to the week this week. Love it. Get up. Come on. Squeeze these guys out, please. Don't just drop this straight back down. We're in the gap. I don't want to short in this gap. Please, Mr. Market. Please, Mr. Market. You're being mean. You are being mean. Oh, you absolute bugger. New lower day come in by the looks of it. What's that lower day? 85. They're protecting it for now. Oh, I would love you to squeeze out first. You're in beyond. What's BYD doing? I know it was on a squeeze. Where is it now? Is it BYD, BYND? I mean, this will go back to nothing. Just know that. That's just not a solid investment. That's just a squeeze out. Heavily shorted stock. It will go back to zero. Oh, you're not coming for me. All right, I'm going to use the bathroom while they do this nonsense. I will be back. Oh, all right, folks. Woof. All right, QQQ coming into its gap as well now. So ETF catching up here. We've almost filled the gap. Oh, actually, we've got it down to 987. That's not quite right here. It's down to here, folks. Ignore this. Let me redraw it out. It's actually here is the gap, technically. So gap fill in process here. We're underneath IB. Technically now we're in a trending day. All right, unless we reclaim all this. I said they're not going to let them out. They didn't. There's the break and retest. So if you took that while I was away, it was actually good. Break, retest of volume, failing, and we drift lower now. Previous week value area high down here. I would not want to be short into this. If we start breaking below that and we go into previous week's value, there's rotation here, but I'd expect bulls will want to hold this level. They will not want to let us go into last week's value. That will be a problem with it for them. That's a big sign of weakness if we do that. Lovely. Yeah, lots of you got it. I like it. Good work, team. Okay, first sign here of some bulls stepping in. Trying to step in. Probably just covers, to be honest, for now. Probably just covers for now. You can see this edge of volume here. We've built some more out here. So 78, first sign of, I'd say basically here is intraday supply now. Right, that's sort of your over under of where bulls are stuck right now. All the time you're under that, they're in trouble. Next volume shelf above it is way up here. Right, so you can see sellers are in control here. You will need pops in into these levels to fail for you to have potential sell follow through. And remember, you're probably about 50% into that gap, so you're running out of targets. Yeah, 50%. You just tagged 50% of the gap. Just be aware of that. Be aware of that. Big still going for now. Big W for me, flat here, InfoRisk says. Diamond hands, please keep dumping to 25,000. I mean, it would be amazing for you if you get it. It would be amazing for you if you get it. All right, so retesting this supply here. Remember, if they trade through this and base above, all right, if they get through this and base above, you will leave sellers under here stuck. And that will be the relief rally to here if they do that. Or maybe just into here and fail because you've got thin volume. But there's both sides here. But the main trend on the session is down. The main trend overall is up. The main trend on this session is lower. So we are chomping through this supply here. Question is, do they fail initial balance or not? If they start reclaiming here, you know what happens on failed auctions. Anyone who's been in here enough knows. If you get a sign of strength back above this range and a hold IB, they will attempt to rotate to New York VWAP. Bella, morning, Bella. We're doing an Apex giveaway today. Everyone say hello to Bella. She's the best. She's the one that looks after you all in here. We just need 11 more likes. So back through initial balance into value on the day, and if they hold pullbacks here, they will try and attempt to go to New York VWAP. All right, bull traps will live above this swing high. If they fail in here, it's where bull traps can live. So you'd need a pullback if you're looking for longs. Otherwise, you're looking for them to fail here and rotate lower to fill the whole gap, which is all the way down to here. So both sides of the trade available right now. Nice aid, love it, absolutely love it, mate. All right, so relative strength in the NQ, we're already above the initial balance. ES is not above the initial balance right now. And we get very thin above here. You can see it in the volume. We get very thin all the way up to sort of, well, yeah, really it is sort of to here, this sort of edge. Let's see. Let's see. Make your decision. Thin above here. Traps can live in here. If you took this bullish rotation, you're braver than me because it hasn't offered a pullback to show that they're ready yet, and it hasn't broken out yet. So they can still sell this. And let's see. Here's the IB. Just watching the book now. Big seller trying to come in here and force it lower. I'd say that pivot right now is 75. That's why they pushed up and failed and pushed up again. So 100 to 75. Bulls will need to hold between 75 and 100 for this squeeze, which currently they're doing. So into this thin volume, and they can come right back up here if they really, really want to. What are they offering above? 75. That was the old level. Remember, 175 to 200 is where they sold aggressively before. Between 175 and 200 is where they aggressively sold before. Bull traps can live above here. I want to be aware of that. But you are starting to see a decent reaction down here. Biggest volume on the day and biggest delta was at the lows. Surprise, surprise. This guy right here probably sold and got trapped. What was his size on the tape? Doesn't look that big to me. 100 lot, 143 lot, 62 lot. So probably about 300-400 down there. Doesn't look that much on the book though. So rotating back up inside IB. So far, no trend day now. So far, it's suggesting that we're going to be rotation if we hold. All right, so if they hold IB, rotation to here. If they hold, why? They hold this, rotation to this, fill out some of this. This is where the big sellers were, 175, 200. Bull trap will be above this and a fail straight back down. Would not be looking for a long here personally, but just wait and see if they come back in on this attempt at a higher low first before you think about a long. If they hold potential upside swing, but you do have divergence to ES. I want to make that clear. ES is beneath its initial balance right now, has not filled its gap on the spiders. We are protecting the gap on the QQQ, and we're into the gap on the NQ, so different positioning here. That last pullback held the IB there. It's the first sign. It's still a bit early, but it is the first sign. I still want to see this go lower first, just to gut check everyone. I haven't had any effect, Peter, but I don't use them for anything. Do these squeeze this out? I want to see this move lower first, just to gut check, make sure those buyers are firmly coming in here. I don't really want to bid above here right now because we can still bull trap here and then wash. Remember, 170 to 200 was where all the massive selling came in, like those 400 lot orders. Are they up there? You can see it here on the book. It gets way thicker up here as we get above the 200s. ES rejecting initial balance for now. Here you go. IB again. So gut checking it now again. One more drive lower and see them absorb, and I'm more interested. So if we see a higher low and a higher high, I'm more interested. Remember, sellers are in control right now. I want to see it come down into this a little bit more. It's now offering support. We've built out that volume. The edge of it is actually up here, so it's not great. They can squeeze all the way up into this if they really take control. ES trying to get through its IB here. Here you go. Here's the break. So that gut check worked. And let's see if they can drift up into VWAP here. Fill this imbalance and come into VWAP, which is what you're starting to see. So that quasi starting to play out. There's the IB check. Looking for this now. Wouldn't have minded that to come slightly lower first, but there we go. Thank you. Can we get into 170s and 200s? 170s and 200s. No guarantee we get above that, remember. Big liquidation break from this level up here. So make sure you're paying yourself on the way up here, please. Please, 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 please. Nice. ES doing the same thing. Watching ES for that retested previous day low. We're coming into that level. There was massive, massive selling up here. I cannot say it enough. There was huge selling up here, so don't expect too much. It's very, very possible we get the door absolutely slammed on us in a moment. It's very, very, very possible. Okay, so moving that stop up with it, protecting your profits, paying yourself. This was a massive area here. We can go over it later. We went over it on Bookmap earlier. I showed you where that transition started taking place earlier. It was up here, right? This is where sellers took absolute control. I'm down to tiny size now because I expect this to possibly flush back down if they come flying back in here on the offer. Not seen it yet, but you're starting to see the start of it. Watching ES into PDL as well. Same with the spiders, watching it into PDL. Same with the QQQ, watching it into PDL. VIX trading back downside underneath PDH. Here we go. So I'm tiny, tiny, tiny size now. All right. So I'm long from 20s. So only 40 points. Not bad though. I'm watching previous week high and VWAP here. I'm looking for that as a cover. If we get acceptance inside, I'll get very, very lucky. But yeah, almost at the 70s, hit 68s there. Almost there, folks. We know we get thick here. All right, we get very, very thick in here. Do not expect too much. All right, please don't expect too much. Range rotation, range rotation, range rotation. Have it in your head. Not expecting too much. See money, take money. If we get lucky, we get lucky. Trading view lagging. It looks okay on mine. Yeah, it looks okay on mine for now, I think. This level here is the contested level. You can see them on the book here, stacking up from here up to 200. There you go, just filled them, big squeeze. So they're getting filled there. Shorts getting squeezed out now. 80s, pretty much at target here. Previous week high, ES into it as well. Anything beyond this is an absolute gift and bonus, folks. Anything beyond this is a gift and bonus. Not expecting much beyond this as we come into this supply zone. This is where we failed from. Pay yourself, pay yourself, pay yourself, pay yourself. I know I'm a broken record, but I'm just trying to protect you guys. This is where we got absolutely slammed earlier on that liquidation break. ES into New York VWAP, still squeezing. We can see failures here. If we get lucky, they just rip faces, but we can absolutely see this market fail here. So here they come. Sellers trying to come back in here. There's trying to see some absorption from buyers. It's a battleground here. You can see the to and fro on the book map above me. Considering flipping the other way if we see weakness, but we'll see. So stuffing it into this same level. This is where we failed from earlier. I'm all out of this now. All out of this now. Wait, I can always rejoin in. It was a nice trade, solid trade. 50 odd points on it. It will do. It can keep going without me. It's fine. You're looking for previous day low aid? Yeah, you might get it. Just know that ES and SPY have already hit it. All right, ES and SPY have already backtested it. Maybe you get it. You might well get it here. What I don't like is lots of market buying coming in here, and that always worries me. I'm not seeing like a passive bid walk up. So this feels like very, very squeezy to me. Yeah, I got long too, but I'm all out of it now, guys. I'm just being honest with you. All right, once I saw that pullback here that we talked about and acceptance back above IB, but I'm all out now. I'm all out in front of this. I'm trying not to be too greedy. If you get this, then, well, I'm going to be very jealous, but I'm just trying to be smart right now. Play what's in front of me. You might get that previous day low. You might get that 200 here. Google News. What's the Google News? Are they partnering with someone now to combat it? It's hilarious. Google News down yesterday. Google News up today, is it? Let's have a look. Quantum computing breakthrough with its Willow chip. They said, F you shorts on Google. So we said at the beginning of the day, anyone betting short on Google because there's a new, what do you call it, web browser coming out? Don't make me laugh. Don't make me laugh. Google are a giant. Okay, still some offers up here. Even at 215, they're even offering 215. So first sign of failing at that supply block. We had that drawn in. So you can see that's why I got out. We can still squeeze higher if it wants to, but that's why I got out. They're offering 160, or they're bidding 165 right now and 170. And they're offering 200 and 215. But this is where we got thick earlier. All right, very, very thick here earlier. If they can't save this, we've got a long way down to go. All right, we can come right back down to 36s. They are bidding on the tape here. You can see passive bidding here at 65. ES rejecting VWAPs here so far. Apple releases new products including iPad Pro, 14-inch MacBook Pro and Vision Pro headset. That makes me happy. The only thing when these swings go is you always wish you had more size. You always wish you had more size on. Okay, thanks for getting me to 150 likes. When we get to lunch in just under an hour, we'll do that giveaway. We'll do a giveaway. All right, stuck at the VWAP here. Can see they're passively trying to bid this 170. They just got filled there. So they were down at 165. They moved up, tried to get filled at 170. They're now filled there at 170. And we've got sellers 190, 195, 200, 215. Maybe they keep squeezing up. Who knows? Richard, I'm greening on the day. I'm not taking any more trades. He says, great day. I got more of my Apex accounts to the payout level. I've passed a FT account. I thought I'd passed yesterday, but I had to do another trade day. Nice work, Richard. Richard's got to be one of my star students right now, just quietly going about his business, making money. I love it. I love it. I took another payout this week on Apex. I took 3 more payouts yesterday on TPT. Absolutely love it. And another payout this week on Funding Ticks I took. Or was it last week? Was it the end of last week? I can't remember. Omalabi, thanks, Alex. I'm getting better every day. I love it. Love to see it. Love to see it. All right, so we're at where we failed earlier. All right, I don't like new longs here, even if it squeezes higher. You can see this supply above us holding up firm right now. There are sellers above that as well, all the way up to 215 at the moment, which is into this high volume node up here. That's the next level. So we can say now, this is sort of not you. We want the blue one. This guy here, yes. All right, this is where buyers have said, hey, we don't want to move lower than this. Sellers playing the edge right now. This is the new range rotation level until proves otherwise. Mo, oh, sorry, I didn't see that. You asked why they restrict traders in Morocco. I have no idea, my friend. I'm sorry. I wish I could help guys like you with that stuff. I don't know, buddy. I really don't know. No idea. Probably something to do with their banking system, but I'm not really sure. It's the first I've heard of it. It's a shame. Maybe you can use a VPN or something. I don't know. I don't know how that would work, but yes, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to hear that. All right, market orders coming in here to the buy side. They keep trying to squeeze it up. If too many of these keep trying to force that squeeze to 200 and they fail, then they're going to get themselves caught. Too many buyers join here late, they will get themselves caught. Let's do a readout on the mag because we are a mixed bag here right now. Tesla 1.17% down, Nvidia just under 0.5% down, Apple 1% down, Amazon 1.65% down, and then you've got Microsoft leading, or actually Google leading the charge, 2.11% up, Meta 0.20% up, Microsoft 1.22% up. As a whole, that index, the mags, equally weighted, flat, absolutely flat on the day. What would that mean? Basically means other parts of the Nasdaq have been weaker this morning, dragging us lower. We are stuck here. We are well and truly stuck here. Second leg higher has potentially finished. Let's see if they rotate back down in this short now for this breakdown. All right, already stopped in the money in these deep pullback flow zones because we just finished the second leg. Like I said, I'll be willing to flip short here, partial out into this Momo cloud in case they hold. All right, so think about this. Offer strong sell, 1, 2 into supply, breakdown here. I'm short in this. I'm already covering some here. This would be my last cover point if we get there. Because they can, if they want, hold this and go higher, and that's fine. That's why I'm just scalping out into this low volume range as they start to build out liquidity. Foster Scott saying he's short MES as well. Might be the better asset to short, to be honest, because it's got a little further to go if it does want to let go. All right, out here, I can always get back in if I see structure building nicely. Yeah, just scalping my way through this range now because we've got tightening of range. You guys nailed this and this liquidation, and now this is upside, and now this is the rotation they will build out in here. All right, this is where buyers took control or sellers got trapped. This is where sellers took control or buyers got trapped. This is your range in here for them to build out. If they want lower prices, you're going to have to see a big breakdown underneath these buyers. Looking good. LJ, nice work. Saying he took the IBL to VWAP. Such a good trade, isn't it? Failed auction underneath. How many times do we see that trade there? A lot. All right, here's the test of this side of the range now. Two leg has finished. The question now is, are the higher time frame buyers going to come back in these levels? Right? Are they going to step back in these 30s or above and say, no, 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 we are done selling for the day. We don't want this to rotate to previous week's value. Why? Give me a second, folks. How do I... I think I know what I've done. Give me a second. No. There we go. That's better. Make sure it's all right on the other ones. Yeah. All right. What I'm interested in, we look at the book map. We think about Luna. We think about the liquidation that happened here. All right, look at this strong selling. They bid back up. They fail, they fail, they fail. More strong selling. So here we had 183 sell, 667 sell, 224 sell, 660, 256, 100 lot, 546, 651, and then a breakdown 744. If we protect this area here, we will rotate lower, or we will attempt to rotate lower, I should say. Oh, wrong one. There we go. All right, so coming back to IB. So this is the battle. You're seeing that rotation now that we talked about. You are seeing that rotation we talked about between these two levels. If they let go of this and they go lower, where did the delta come in? It came in, it's offside at these lows. So really, this area here, they need a breakdown under this if they're really going to get lower prices. Otherwise, this can still hold and just rotate between these two blocks because we're strong selling and strong buying here. Those are the levels right now, folks. Missed the shorts, but caught both the long squeezes today. Wish I got that short, though. It's okay, mate. You can't get them all. If you got two good trades today, it's a good day. Nice aid. Another 480 added to your total. Lovely. Lovely. I think we're trading this really well today, team. I think we were prepared for this. We know what we've been looking for. We're trading it well. You're seeing that reaction in this demand now. This volume here, you're seeing a reaction there. First reaction. So the question really is for me now, do they short in this range? Do sellers come back in at this point now? I'm only drawing this out so you can see it, so it's obvious, all right? Do they rotate between these 2 points now? So basically 70s. Do sellers protect 70s now? And do buyers protect where we're at? And definitely they're going to have to protect 91s. If we break down, I would say first target will be here. All right, so the gap fill would be 985. Previous week value would be 976. Below that, we can look for 920, 900, but I wouldn't be thinking too much beyond this right now. Right, this is the volume and value from last week. They will want to protect this area right now. So I wouldn't be thinking beyond that if you're looking for a trend short day lower. Nice, Scott. Yeah, IB hit there for you on ES. Just be careful if they form a higher low here and start bidding off it. But hopefully you get some weakness in here for you. Nice, mate. Nice. Really nice trading. I think you guys are trading this well. You understand what you're looking at. And that's all that matters. So we were willing to play both sides today. Nice, Ken. Just don't force it. Remember, today maybe you get that. Tomorrow maybe you get the extra bit more that makes up for today and stuff. What's the buffer on a 50k funding ticks after eval? 2,000. Anything above 2,000. Same as TPT. Anything above 2,000 is your money. All right, so see that bid come in? Someone, I reckon he's short and he's looking to get filled. You see, he was down here. It's a big lot, 814 lot. He was looking to get filled at 25,000 and looks like an 80 odd. And he's moved up to the 100s now, 110. All right, that's a big order. He's just stepped in. So let's see if they go down to him at 110s and fill him. And let's see if he's a spoofer or not. So he's an instant magnet. The moment he put that on, became an instant magnet. It's a big, big order. So back to structural demand here, back to volume here. Battleground now as they rotate between supply and demand intraday. Do higher time frame traders take over? Getting close to that guy here. He's only 10 points lower, so if you're short, you might see some front running here, which is what you're seeing here, a little bit of front running. Are they going to liquidate that player? That's the question. He just pulled, so he's a spoofer. So he's not even looking to get filled. Lovely. So do they move lower now that he's not present? That would be my next question. If he's not present, do they move lower? Your initial balance low is sort of your over-under. You're right into quite a lot of volume here that we traded into this morning. And they can bid up off this if they really want. And you can see it's pretty thick. If we look left, pretty thick here into sort of 35-ish. Yeah, pretty thick here. That passive order pulled. Yeah, still holding initial balance for now. Most of the mag are red on this session, other than Goog, which is relative strength 2% up, and Microsoft 1.13% up. Rest of the mag currently red. And we're right into that key level. Initial balance, that key level. They're trying to bid off it at the moment. Big players come back at 290 now. 810 lot now at 290. Not much aggressive selling here so far. They're trying, but not much aggressive selling. If they don't break IB, they can't force the trade to the low. There's a couple of stops here at that 10s, I would say. All this volume being built out. If they're here too much longer, we're going to shift POC down here, I would say. Been here a long time now. Here's the attempt. If they don't move lower here, I think they get caught. Here's the attempt again. If they don't move lower here, these sellers will get caught. They're trying to move lower. There's IB. All right, are they going to flush through now? Now or never for those sellers. 800 lot at 290. Still, big sell came down there and got soaked up. 99 lot. Battleground here for sure. Battleground here for sure. I wouldn't be entering anything in here personally. Like, you saw me get short here, so I was long here for the first move up. So after that leg formed, and then short here for this move down. Didn't hold into it. Should have held. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. But trying to be cautious because I know there's volume here. If we break below this, if sellers get their way, and especially if they trade under this guy here at 90, right, this is where Delta got caught. If they trade under that, we can make new lows on the day. If they trade under 90s, I think you make new lows on the day. Here's the 800 lot down here. Let's see how they respond to him. very close to him. He's gonna fill. He pulled. Yeah, he pulled. Nothing on the book there. He pulled. Pulled at the last minute. That's gross. So spoofing, literally at the last second there, because I'd see it here if he was there, and he's not there. We'd see 800 lot on the bid, and we don't. So he pulled his order. Selling through him now. There's 90s. If they stay heavy here, you're going to make new lower day. This is the level, here or hereabouts, like we just talked about. If you stay heavy here, you would expect a new lower day. And maybe you can get a gap fill if you do that. Here we go. Here we go, folks. Here we go. New lower day coming. I would say a new lower day's coming here. They've just traded through the delta. All the time 90s heavy. So if you're short, cover some here. But this is your level under over now. If they reject this, gap fill very much possible. You look good. God, I should have held my short there. Feeling like an idiot. It was such a good location. Feeling like an idiot for not holding that. Alex being a donut. Perfect short and didn't hold it. You muppet. Absolute muppet. 120 points short there already. Lower day coming here, folks. Like I said, once 190 goes, they're in trouble. Oh, God, he had the best location for the shorts, didn't he? He had it all drawn out. He's talked you through everything, and he couldn't even take it himself. It just shows. Sometimes you can see it, and you still don't take it. All right, once we rejected this, there's your lower high. Once that 190 let go, we're going to let the delta out the room, and we're coming for this now. Give me the grenade. Absolute muppet, Alex. You read it perfectly and you traded it like a flipping donkey. Here we go. Hopefully, at least me explaining it makes sense to you guys. You can see how we use the order flow in here at that 180, 190 was key, all right? Because we had the edge here. See this volume? That was the edge. Bulls had to hold that. They failed to hold that. Where are we going if they fail that? Right back down. Right? Your next TPs are down here. You can't join this short now, guys. You have to wait for new structure. So maybe you took the 190 break. That's a legit short. Beyond my parameters. But you're looking for 987s and 975. So let's just call it 990. In fact, let's say 25,000 into 975 is your TP. All right, you should be taking some off for that lower day break. Runners now are here, and if you get acceptance into old range here, all right, I do not imagine we trade through that level. I can't imagine bulls will want to let it come beyond this. I still see this as a rotational market to make new highs. As long as we find acceptance here and above, I still think it's a rotational market to make new highs. Until proven otherwise. I'm happy to flip the other way when the market tells me, right? When the market tells me. That's good, Peter. That makes me happy. You made enough money. As long as you guys all made enough money, it's all right. We haven't had one bad call today, though. We've absolutely nailed this. I'm not even patting myself on the back. It's just more like we're trading this well. We have a good understanding of this market right now, folks. A really good understanding. Because it's trading to technical levels in a polite manner. All right? Think about this rotation here. 50% of the gap. Reclaimed IB. Trades up. 2-leg. Off a strong sell. Predictable. 2-leg ends into supply. Breakdown short. Lower high. Let's go of 190. New lows. Targets down here. Like, all of this is doing exactly what it should do. It's not being a stupid NQ and doing something like 2-leg and like it's done. We don't have Trump ruining the market for us today. So long may that continue. We want his liquidity, but we don't want him talking when the market's open. Talk when the market's closed for us. Ain't no way we're passing 25k. I mean, we might come and test value. It's possible. It's possible. Don't rule it out. It's possible. Maybe test the 9 and 20. I mean, I don't use those, but and I don't know what time frame you're talking about, LJ. But yes, can always back test anything. Futures with Drew says, caught that. Lovely, 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 lovely. Yeah, exactly, Peter. That's it. The clues were there, weren't they? It's giving us good clues. Even here, like if they don't reclaim 90, we can go lower. We can go lower if they don't reclaim 90. Watching VIX. VIX is holding 5-minute flow zones like an absolute trooper today. Still waiting to see if it can bid above previous day high. We're above it. Can we do that inverse right shoulder and go for a ripper today on VIX? If we do, new low days are coming. Chris, starting to feel greedy, shutting her down. I'm going to hang out with you guys. Great session, Alex. Thank you. You're welcome, Chris. Yeah, shut the screens down or just move to sim. Lock yourself out. Whatever you've got to do to not give back. On the daily, LJ. So on the daily, I use the 5-day and the 20-day. So the 20-day for me is a full mean reversion, and that is right here, right? We have a mean reversion trade ends right here, all right? This is the mean... All right, it's on previous week value area high. This is the 20-day. We're already through the 5-day, which is here. All right, so we're trading through the 5 backtest 20, and we can build out liquidity here if it really wants to. All right, if it wants to, we can see that. That doesn't mean you have to do what I do, but those are the higher time frame ones I use. So we can see that on the daily. Move you to a daily. On the daily. All right, we've traded from top bowl, lower bowl, back to mean, under, over, top bowl, back to mean. They can find a bid here and go higher. They can also collapse this inside this old range and trade in that previous week range, which will be awful if they do that. This is the chop zone. We don't really want to be in here. We want to hold above this for this move, take out all-time highs. Then I don't give two monkeys if it really wants to trade lower for the rest of the year, which I doubt. But if it does, I don't care, because then we've taken this out. As long as we take that out, it becomes an easy market to trade. It's all down to you. All the signs were there, and thank you for the confirmation. No worries, Aid. Thanks for turning up. Here we go. It's going for that previous week close. I'm telling you, these bulls are going to get hurt here. Previous week close coming. This is the edge of this box. Previous week close, previous week's value. Underneath initial balance, you are in a trend lower. We're running out of room, but underneath here, we are in a trend lower, right? Two leg, failed, collapse. Don't really want to be short as we get here, guys. All right, if you're short, if you took this with me or this, or even if you took the 90 breakdown, all right, you do not want to be adding short under here. If you get lucky for some reason and it pukes, great. Do not. This is awful location to be short at, right? The top of the old balanced range. You do not want to start a new short here. That is how you will get wrecked. So think about the psychology of what's going on here. Shorts were from initial balance rotation or your orb break. Some of you took the orb break. Lower high, puke, two leg, short. Think about the chasers. They're going to come and get short down here, and they're probably going to get hurt back for the reversal, the upside, unless they get very lucky and we go full liquidation. Don't chase. Do not chase this market lower. You're either in or you're cash, right? We've had lovely trades both sides today. Previous week close coming up, that sort of grey line on your screen, the edge of this box, that's your gap fill for the Qs. If you're trading QQQ, we can trade down to 603.82 if you're trading the ETFs. If we're trading ES, it's got a way to go, I think. Yes, a long way to go on the ES, 700s on the ES, 702 to be exact. And if you're trading the spiders, 665.75 down to 664.43. Right, for those of you trading the cash market. Bullish SMT, I mean, there's nothing bullish here right now. You've got a breakdown on all markets. Don't be guessing bottoms. Just because we're not looking for the short at the lows doesn't mean it's ready for the longs, right? Think about what we are. What's your trend indicator underneath here? All right, we are in a strong sell. All we've done since the IB high, sold VWAP, sold IB L, two-leg pullback, selling down. We're in strong Momo. Don't fight that, right? You're going to need to see something like this to bid up. And sellers are in absolute control. Think about how many buyers came in here who are now stuck. Until we let all of them out, I would be very cautious about thinking about a long. I think that's the one thing I'd say, and this isn't a dig, but the one thing I'd say with trading ICT style, those of you who trade it, you are constantly looking for reversals. Don't do that. Don't do that. Set some kind of parameter. Set some kind of parameter for that. All right, 30 minutes left. So some covering here. You can see squeezing back up here, some covering here. They're still trying to get to that 25,000. You can see it. We almost got there. Lots of bids coming there. So some covering back up, and we probably trade to the next edge. So we've got volume here into sort of 58, somewhere around here. If we squeeze through that, we're going to back test that 90s where we broke down from. All right, and then you want to see if shorts come back in there or not. So just be careful. What would it need for a long? You'd need... What I would want to see is this be filled for a start, all right? To be confident it's got less reason to go lower. I'd want this, what we're seeing here, for sure. That's actually looks pretty good. I'd want that down here, right? So we'd want lots of market orders to the short side down here, and a turnaround and a shift of structure and a rebid over an acceptance back into here, ideally. Could there be a counter trend to there? Yeah. Is it a good trade for me? No, that's a very C, maybe a D, maybe an E trade. All right, acceptance back in here and over this long. Maybe wait for tomorrow for that trade. All right, maybe wait for tomorrow for that trade. But these are the kind of signatures you want to see at lows. Look at the volume. What's the lowest candle of the day? Here. What's the biggest volume? Here. What's the delta? Sell side. What does that mean? Market sell orders came in here. That's actually a great signature. All right, we start breaking above this. Really, I'd want to see this move actually happen above that volume, because this right now is supply. So let's flip this so it makes sense. All right, that is your supply. Yeah, that's fairly accurate. And you've got another node here that we're trading into right now. I'd want to see this gap closed, to be honest, just to take away the low-hanging fruit. If you were adamant on playing the reversal, you'd like to see that low-hanging fruit taken away. Camus. Am I saying that right, by the way? Camus? Kamau? Man, another good day. Thank you again. I'm not taking all the trades you're taking, but I'm getting some of it with my strategy. Hey, that is key. Maybe I need to mention that. You don't need to trade, you know, how I trade. You don't need to take the trades I trade. We talk about that all the time. It's really important you guys have your own strategy. You need to be able to trade your own book. I'm just calling out order flow as I see it, and I will trade the days or the setups in front of me that I like. But so important that you guys have your setups, whether that's an initial balance rotation, a breakout of that initial balance. Maybe it's the opening range trade. Maybe you're trading VWAP. Maybe you're just trading supply and demand. Maybe you're trading, you know, gaps and inversions of gaps. It doesn't matter. As long as you've got your setup, all I'm here to do is read to you the order flow that I can see happening. And hopefully in doing that, it's educating you a little bit into how the market operates. Still think we've got this gap fill below us. I just see that in chat. Jerome Powell's in the building. Well. No rate cuts for the rest of the year. Well, full send short then, Jerome. Is that insider information for me? Thanks, JP. How many days you got left in office before Trump gets rid of you? It's not very long. I think your days are numbered if you're going to say no rate cuts. I love that banter. That's amazing, whoever's done that. Scott says, I've always had to return to my way of seeing the markets. Every time I deviate from it, it never ends well. Yeah, exactly. It's why I will not watch other traders. Like, I'm happy to learn more and more and more, but what I won't do, I actually did a tweet about this yesterday. I'm not interested in watching other traders. It will completely skew my train of thought. That's why when people come in here and they say something, it's fine to have an opinion, but when you say something like, "Gold, I'm buying gold," right, and gold's in a massive sell, I'm not interested in guys like that being in chat, because you're gonna get people hurt. It's the same for me. If I go and watch another trader who trades in a completely different way for me, and I'm actively trading and I'm thinking about, hey, I'm looking for a short rejection. I'll give you an example. Let's try and find an example here. All right, let's say Alex was long here, but he knew he wanted to get short in this node once it broke down. For example, right? Let's just say this is a inverse fair value gap, or whatever you want to call it, and we've repriced it. And I'm watching an ICT trader who's saying, yeah, I'm long here, full conviction, stop under here, we're going long here. Guess what? I would have got absolutely wrecked by following them for a move which never came, because I didn't stick to my plan. My plan is to play against that once we start failing. It's why it doesn't mean they're wrong. It's just that trade in that moment went against my thesis, and I mustn't let that happen. I must not be swayed by someone else's thesis ever. And we've talked about that on stream numerous times. I would have been a multi-millionaire had I bought Meta and Palantir when I actually bought it and got in, and then got told it was a terrible decision by other traders who had far less experience than I did, but managed to convince me to get out of the market. Well, that got very upsetting. We even had it this year. Swing trades where people don't agree with it, that's absolutely fine. The difference is I don't let things affect me now. So where does that confidence come from? It comes from being on the charts, back testing your system, forward testing your system. Can you write down what your trade setups are? I have numerous trade setups. This is the other thing I go through with my students all the time. I have numerous trade setups which allow me to trade a lot of markets. I know what my best setups are. Pro trend, best setup for me. Ranging trades, not my best setups. Pro trend, best setups. Trending markets, fantastic, love it. Clear liquidity to aim for, love it. Low hanging fruit, love it. Those are the trades I really love, but I'll trade anything within my parameter. What I won't do is trade beyond that. So traders who do well, we talk about this. I talked about it in my podcast with Austin. Go and read Golf is Not a Game of Perfect, right? It's a golf book, but it applies to trading. If you're a new golfer, all right, and you have been at the driving range and then you go out and you're going to play your first 18. Let's say you're consistent with a 6, 7, 8 iron and you're not bad with a pitching wedge and putter. Guess what the best way for you to go around that 18 hole is? 6, 7, 8 iron, pitching wedge, putter. It might take you 6, 7 shots on a par 5. But if you get that driver out, you're in big trouble, right? You're albatross. You're 10 over par because you've got a big boy out and you can't control it. It's the same with trading. Stick to your setup, one setup at a time. Maybe I would advise pro trend pullback setups. Guys like Tyson in chat, they focus on initial balance setups. That's his bread and butter, all right? Makes his money from that. Master one setup. When you're confident, move on, learn another setup, add it to your playbook. Okay, so now I can do initial balance rotation, initial balance trend. What's my next setup? Maybe it's a 2-leg pullback that I'm going to trade both ways. Okay, great. Maybe then we're trying a pro trend trade. Okay, fantastic. Maybe once you get past the pro trend trade, you're like, okay, I'm interested in reversals. Maybe then you're looking for, okay, well, now I'm looking for low-hanging fruit to be taken, divergence. I'm looking for traders to be trapped at lows. I'm looking for a shift, and then I'm looking to play the reversal long because I've nailed my first setup, nailed my second setup. Now I'm going to nail my third setup. Love you, darling. Catch you later. All right, hopefully that makes sense. It's putting all those pieces together. Jerome Powell, you're what's Jerome saying? Jerome Powell says, you're welcome for the cheap prices. Enjoy the continued drop. Back to saving the economy. What time do you usually draw your volume profile on your chart? Previous day, New York session. Current day, New York session. New York session, New York session, New York session. But there's a free video, but on my YouTube. Just go and check it out. Everything's on there. All my settings are on there. Absolutely everything's on there. That's it. Info risk gets in your way, doesn't it? Otis, you're right. Thank you. I'm learning today this exact thing. I was in another ticker playing you in the background, had me having strange type of FOMO. Thank you for your wisdom, homie. Yeah, you're welcome. Ron, it's good to learn, but testing and following folks that trade like your strategy helps sometimes to refine your trades. Yeah, absolutely, especially if you're experienced. Yeah, nothing wrong with learning and refining, but once you've got your system, it might not be my system. It might be completely different, and that's okay. There's a million ways to trade. But like, if you found success trading ICT and your system is inverse fair value gaps or whatever, if you found success and that's your bread and butter, and you're kind of come to trade with me, I'm going to trade the opposite way to you probably a lot of times, and then you're going to get yourself caught, right? Because I'm going to trade all sorts of setups in front of you. So that's all I'm saying is, like, refine it. Know what yours is. Join a community where the reason my Discord is only open to people that do the course is because now we're all trading the same setups in the same direction. So Coop might see a setup and say, hey, this is what I'm looking at. And then Scott might be like, yeah, I agree. This looks good for reversal long. And then BU's like, yeah, I'm in long. And then Bowden, yeah, I'm in long. And suddenly you've got 140 people looking at the same stuff, rather than Coop saying, hey, I'm looking for reversal long. And then me saying, no, I'm looking for, continuation short. And someone else saying, well, I think it's a range. And like, that's just noise. That's going to stop you progressing in trading. Giveaway time. It is giveaway time. It is. We're almost there. We've got the likes up. The likes are good. I was just going to wait a bit longer, but we can do it if you want. I'm waiting to see if we can fill this gap. All right. I'm not really interested. To be honest, I'm not going to play the reversal long. We've built out volume here. I want to see the low hanging fruit taken before we do this reversal. That's what I'd like to see. It might not do it. All right. It might not do it, but that's what I'd like to see. Because then if we take this and turn around, it's got no reason to trade lower. It's saying, hey, weekly traders, daily and weekly traders are saying, no, you're not coming into this. All right. Make sense of this for you. Hang on. Let's put this into 30-minute. Right. This is the old range. That's a developing profile. Forget about that. Okay, that's the old range. There you go. Right, you need daily and weekly bulls defending this. Once we come in, close that gap, protect this, then what? Well, this still looks great. Think about the weekly newsletter, folks. Anyone got the weekly newsletter? All we're doing is back testing this level. If we hold this level and come back up here, guess what? That is a absolute beautiful trade then. Stops, 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 stops. Thank you. I'm going to eat you up and we're going to go higher. If we fail into this range, right, this will be a failed look above. It'll be a look above and fail. And then we're going to have to trade range rotation the rest of the week. What would not surprise me is if we trade down here, find a bit of a bid, and Tesla and IBM have blowout earnings, and we go risk on. Wouldn't surprise me in the slightest. It really would not surprise me in the slightest. Right, let me change that profile. It's clearly developing. We don't want it developing. There we go. All right, giveaway. Coop. Oh, I love it. You know when your right-hand man's just got like the best comic value ever. All right, let's do this giveaway, folks. Oh, God. Oh my God, that's actually made me cry. I needed a bit of comedy this morning. Okay, FZT, type it once in chat. That is your code for most prop firms out there. It will get you the best discount, especially for Apex, who sponsor this today. All right, we're giving away a free Apex account of any size that you want. Just type it once in chat. You don't need to spam it. Once in chat will do it. If you do it more than once, you're going to get like booted out by Nightbot. So just once in chat, let that build out and we'll give away an Apex account. So back up to supply, right? That red block we have on here, current value, area low on the day. I really want this gap filled first before we look upside, but hey, I'm probably done on the day, to be honest. It's been a decent session. I always look at that and think could have had more, but there we go. But you know, when you're in four figures and you start thinking, oh, I haven't done enough, and blah, 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 like that's when Mr. Greed is taking over. Remember, we made good money in the first 5 minutes this morning. 5 minutes, and then we hung out and had a good time, and lots of you crushed it. Not amazing. I'm only trading a few accounts, so I'm waiting for 2 payouts to go through at the moment. I actually got approved this morning, so I was leaving my TPTs for the money to come out of it. So I've just got approved from that this morning. So I've only traded 3 accounts, up a couple thousand. It's fine. I would have liked to trade the TPT today because I wanted another daily payout, but I took a bit too long to put in the request. But keeping them above buffer and just taking money out every day. I tell you what, though, I am starting to go through. I was talking to Coop about this privately, but I am starting to remove accounts. My aim next year, I'm going to size up. I'm just going to have a flip and go at sizing up next year, not just on account types, but on the sizes. It's time to scale my trading. I'm seeing the markets really well. I'm teaching really well. I need to get out of this sort of psychology that I've been in for a while of, you know, paying myself regularly, which is great, but I do want to challenge myself. And if I fail sizing up, like I know some other traders failed doing it, you know, Matt, Trades by Matt's been very honest. He moved from those 50Ks up to the 300Ks and just couldn't handle it. If I do the same, I'll go back to the 50Ks. That's fine, but I want to have a go at it. I will keep regular payouts everywhere else, but I want to try and challenge myself, and it's fine. I can always go back. Okay, let's pull this winner, folks. So let's see who's won the course. Not the course, sorry. Richard. There you go. Well, Richard's had a good day. Now he's had a great day. There you go, Richard. Maybe just shoot me a message on Discord. It's going to be the easiest way to do it. Shoot me a message on Discord and I will get you set up. All right, buddy? Okay, let's do another giveaway. This time we're going to give away the introduction course. So it's a 2-hour course. It's worth $99. If you finish that course, though, you do also get a little discount off the main course as well, the 20-hour course. So you know what to do. Just type course in chat. Just type it once. And we'll do that giveaway there for you guys as well. So back to the IB. Look at that. So the delta held up there. Unfortunately, we didn't come and take everything. But I tell you what, if you look at ES, if I drag this over my other screen, ES protecting 5-day and 20-day in demand, right? Never came down to gap fill, which is down here, but protecting that level back to initial balance now. Still making lower highs and lower lows on the swings. Would have liked to see that trade lower, but you can see the mean reversion trade complete. All right, so they're covering in the mean reversion. Nothing surprising there, is it? Right? If you've traded downside and you've traded a full daily mean, that's why understanding that 20 days is so important. Oh, squiggly lines on the chart don't work. Yes, they flipping do. If you understand why they're there, they work. If you put a random squiggly line on your chart, it's not going to work. But if you understand the thesis behind the 20-day and the daily Bollinger Bands, it's going to work, right? Most of the times, it's going to help you understand whether you're fair value or not. God, I'm riveting on today. I bet newer traders like, this guy's an absolute knob. I'm only doing it to help you. I'm only doing it to help you. Man, Ada's on fire. Awesome call out. I got the IBL for 960. I'm up a total of 3,950 on the day. Ada, you've been on fire since you've come back, buddy. I love it. Absolutely love it. I love to see my students doing well. Nothing makes me happier, honestly. It is the best feeling in the world seeing you guys get paid. Saying the guys crushing it recently have been like Richard, Priska, Aid, all taking good money out of the markets recently. Doing really, really well. All right, one more minute and then we'll pull this. Oh no, AMD falling right back in. What are you doing to me? Don't. I still haven't taken profits here. No. You behave yourself, mate. I might have to move a stop up here. That's still okay versus 25s. That's all right. All right, let's pull it. Let's see who's won this. Remember, if you've already done the course or if you've done the main course before, you've got two options. You can let me re-roll it for someone new, or you can give it to a family member. All right, so let's see. Psychosis, you're the winner. Psychosis, are you here, Psychosis? Awani, so thank you so much for your funding ticks video. I believe I just passed today. Hey, nice work. Honestly, it's the easiest one to pass and get payout for. It's so cheap. I know they've just put prices up, I think, but it's almost too easy. It is almost too easy, I'll be honest. It's ridiculous. Really not very hard to pass those and make money. You should put risk on, set your stop, let it work. Job done. Hello, Psychosis. Hello. Right, if you could email me, please, my friend, info@flowzonetrader.com. Shoot me an email there. Send a screenshot of your YouTube so I can see it's you logged in with this username so I know it's you. And I will sort you out with a code for the introduction course. Yeah, good management aid. Really nice. Really nice. All right, yes, back to VWAP here. Previous day low above. VIX trading back inside, coming back down to low of current day in the New York session, that is. So trading all the way back to low of day on VIX, which is equivalent to being right up here, would be equivalent of high of day. So we're not seeing that. Just zoom out here, see where people got stuck a minute. So this same level is still being protected for now. Can I pull that across? No. All right, let's get rid of these drawings. All right, so if we look at the book map, right, you can see these strong sellers here. It's still holding below this right now. Right, that's your supply. Very clearly. Big selling, big selling, big selling, huge selling, back test, fail. Sell, 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 back test. This is your level. If they reclaim that, we go rotation, all right, from like 150 up to sort of 300 odd. That'd be your rotation. So it's a 150-point rotation inside that. If they start reclaiming it, we can check to make sure that makes sense on the lower time frame as well. 150 to 300 odd, we said. That's probably a bit too much, to be honest. I'd say this area here, point of control on the day, if they reclaim point of control, we can trade up to 200 odd, I'd say, max for now. I'd say we probably leave that excess up there until proves otherwise. So if they reclaim this, they come and back test this. If they get over that and find acceptance, then we can come up here. There's your trend. And it's starting to go buy side of the curve, but we have not pivoted over this. So I expect more rotation in here, and then they can make their decision on what happens next. Remember, we left low-hanging fruit down there. Worth noting. Worth noting. I had to scratch my head with the 40% consistency pass, but I figured it out later. Yeah, it's not too hard, man. It's like basically just trade 3 days. Trades by Matt is a scam according to Reddit. Any grifter sharing prop firm referral links is a grifter. I mean, not really. I don't really agree with that. I mean, he took like live on stream, I don't know, 400-500k out of the market and then tried to size up and then couldn't do it. I don't think he's necessarily the best trader out there, but I definitely don't think he's a grifter. I could name you a ton of grifters. I don't think he's really one of them, but each their own. Oh, we've got a nobby in chat, clearly. Just joining, are you, Charles Button? Just joining. Just missed all the trades and come in here. I don't know him, Chris. Couldn't tell you. Well, great stream today. Thanks for the insight. My trading's been getting better each and every day I follow you. Nice, dude. Oh, you gotta love someone who's blown up, going through YouTube channels, trying to talk shit. Hope you've had a great day. Yeah, we don't talk garbage. We don't talk garbage about other traders. I'm not hurt, mate. I'm absolutely fine. You're the one that feels the need to be here. Alex, I copy trade all my accounts at a time. What's your thoughts on that? If you've got a proven track record and you're finding consistency, then absolutely you should be copy trading, because it will allow you to make more money and scale up. If you're still in a phase where you don't know what your best trades are, if you're still in any of that phase, or you feel like you go on tilt too regularly, I would advise against it. I would just take your time. Yes, I'm clearly crying, aren't I, Charles? You're extremely mature person. I have no idea what I'm doing. That's why I've called the market absolutely perfectly today, literally from the open right up to now. Peter, 25,070 retest for the long. Yeah, I mean, potentially. It's definitely left sellers trapped underneath here right now on Delta. Okay, so it definitely has them trapped under here right now. But just remember, your main trend, your swing points, high, low, lower high, lower low, lower high, unfinished business. If we'd taken that unfinished business, I'd be more inclined to look for that. Right now, we're point of control and IB low is here. Technically, all the time, all right, we are protecting this level. There's potential for lower prices because this is your initial balance low, right? IB high, rotation, 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 breakdown. We can still look for lower prices, and there's still lower hanging fruit lower. It's just, you're into lunch now. It's not ideal. Here's your low hanging fruit. Here's the weekly and daily balanced range. that I would imagine higher time frame buyers will want to protect. I cannot see us wanting to go lower than that if the game plan is to move higher. Unless they're trying to liquidate everyone and buy cheap, I find it very unlikely that they'll do that move today without a news driver. There's no news driver. I think this is, I'm going to be honest with you. I think we're being walked down for a strong bid back up. All right. I think this is very controlled, walk down. All right. And if we zoom out, I think we'll find a strong bid back up. I think we've liquidated bulls who chased, created shorts in here, come back to higher time frame value. And there's a very, very good chance of the end of the week, especially if earnings are good, of a bid up and a new high to come and back test. Because this is what? Mean reversion. All right. Think about this. What day are we? Yes, liquidation low. All right, that's your Bollinger Band low. Bull band high is up here. That's a 4 sigma move back to mean, back towards the top, back to mean, back to top. This is still swinging like this for me. That's what I would say. So I would be somewhat cautious looking for dips here when the main trend is still breaking down with the low hanging fruit. If we'd taken that low hanging fruit, then I would be more inclined with you, but we haven't. Chris, I am $1 over my TPT 50%. They won't throw a fit over that, will they? I don't want to flip a $1 trade. I couldn't tell you. I would doubt they will, but have you traded 5 days? You've still got to trade 5 days, right? So you're gonna, if you've done that in 2 days, you're gonna have to flip it for 3 more days anyway. So just put a micro on, off, on, off, on, off. Yeah, nice one, Coop. I mean, it does make you laugh, man. You can tell someone new has just turned up and they've had a bad day and they're just looking to vent. It's hilarious. If only people, all I do is give away info and try and help. If only people came in with a good attitude, they'd actually learn and might make some money. You never know. He's on the naughty step. You're on the naughty step, Matt. Not getting any Christmas presents from Father Christmas. He's probably like that kid. I love that video. I'm gonna punch his beard off. Has anyone seen that video? The English guy, Action Jackson. It's my favorite vid. You're welcome, JJ. You're welcome, Troy. On TPT, they just up it however much you go over. So you still, there you go, Chris. So you still got to trade 2 more trading days. So you're going to have to flip anyway. So just make an extra buck or two. Micros, man. Micros, and, don't hit the market. If you hit micros and you played a bid in the ask, you probably make the money just on the spread alone. All right, so just tighten up. We talked about that in Discord on Friday in the private mentorship. So you can make an ATM for it just for passing. All right, I'm going to sit here with you a bit longer. I'm quite happy to chill out with you guys today. Just let me use the bathroom and come right back. You know what that means. If I'm using the bathroom, you know what's going to happen. New lows. All right. Catching up with chat. No worries, Clint. Hope you had a good day, bud. Feel free to shoot me some more stuff. We can go over it together, one-on-one again. Noah. 60% of the time, it works every time. On my last Apex payout, I had to trade one more day because my consistency was over by 0.2. They would not let me request a payout. It took me one more trade. Yeah, that's funny. It's funny. I think we're probably done. Starting to see absorption down here on H1. I mean, I wouldn't want to be long. It's not an area I'd want to be short in either. It's one of those things where we have to let it develop. I'd much rather we sweep and come into that key level and see buyers protect it before looking for that transverse back up. And we haven't swept, and we are still in a sell until it proves otherwise, and there is low-hanging fruit, so I'd be very cautious. Do you think this could be a right shoulder to go up? I mean, yeah, we just went over that. I mean, it's potential, but the problem is, for me, is that this hasn't been checked, right? Why come this close to a gap and a previous week value area high and not fill it? Right? Why come that close and not fill it would be my question. If we'd filled this, like we talked about, if we'd done this and this delta down here was here, then yes, I'll be thinking about this move up. And you can still think about it. All I'm saying is A plus is that, right? A plus because we've taken it. It's not an A plus when we've left it. Everything else looks good. If we like zoom in here, this guy here is stuck. Right, this candle here, which makes low of day, is big delta. Just before that, we have big delta here. Every seller under here is currently stuck. If we keep them stuck, can we bid up? Absolutely. Absolutely. If we come back in here and we hold, if this is a trade back in and we hold, can we bid up? Yes, we can. We absolutely can. From a technical standpoint, we absolutely can. But what you have to understand is we have unfinished business below, and the swing points, when you zoom out, are still lower. Can still do this. The safest buy is going to come when? Well, if they prove that they protect that, and then they start bidding over IB and everything, maybe. But again, main trend on the day, down. It's just, for me, it's very high risk knowing this is down here. This for me is like a magnet down here. Now, if they trap down here and you see a big, big move back upside, then you can be like, okay, bulls are flying back in. But I do not personally like that we have left this. And if we look up here, this is trying to tell you, right, we're trend bearish right now. So you are trying to play this to go higher when there's a good reason for it to go lower at the moment. That is what would worry me if we move to this. Okay, M15 and below is bearish. We're neutral on everything else to the daily. All right, we can build liquidity from M30 to H4. M15, M5, etc. are currently bearish. I would say it's not a high probability trade. It's not an A plus trade. Plus, it's happening during lunchtime, right? It's happening during lunchtime. Yeah, I mean, it is because it's NQ. But also, like, if we look at ES, oh, same issue. Go to a 30-minute. I'm somewhat surprised I haven't been ill yet. Right, 30-minute. Gap fill is here. Gap fill's here. Where's the open on 9:30? It's actually here. Here. All right, so we hit the top of the gap. Gap fill is all the way down there. So protecting that gap, it actually looks better. RBS. Swing can be this. Ideally, guys, they leave it here. Honestly, ideally, they leave it here. A bit like yesterday, I was like, ideally, we don't take the highs. All right, anyone who's done the course, think about, I'm cannot give too much away here, but think about this edge. Monday, Tuesday, think about what this can be, depending where we close today. Think about what higher time frame targets are. All right, it would be an absolute delight if anything up here becomes available for us. I definitely wouldn't want to be short down here. I'm just saying I don't think it's ready for a long yet. What is the gap fill number? Either on ES, technically it's 702. So it's from 732 to 702. On NQ, let's get right in there, make sure this is correct. On NQ, it's 986. On QQQ, it's 603.90. The thing is, Troy, if you have a look at what a good high is, a strong high, it is not made in Globex. There's a bit of edge for you. We do not make all-time highs that hold in Globex. Yeah, not today. It's an odd one. It's just how we've positioned. Like, let's have a look at the sectors. Right, if we come back to the sectors, can I make this smaller? Is there a way of squeezing this in? Right, so sectors selling off, like Nvidia down, Apple down, Amazon down, Tesla down. Remember, these are all heavy. Semiconductors getting whacked off that TXN. Remember, they had bad earnings yesterday. All right, so semis getting whacked today, and that will drive NQ lower. This morning, we had tech and semis holding up and finances down bigger, and healthcare. Look at healthcare. Healthcare's bouncing back here. Eli and Lilly up, J&J up. You know, and this is all in the S&P. Consumer defense up as well. So S&P, S&P, S&P. So some of the bigger sectors in the S&P up, and that's probably holding ES up pretty well. Energy as well up. Utilities up as a whole. All right. So understanding like how the sectors work will give you an edge into why you get that divergence. Right, any questions, folks, before I get off? Take myself to the gym. I'm not convinced I'm going to trade this afternoon. Like Adam, I will set some price alerts. But I think, honestly, when we've traded that well in the morning, it takes an awful lot out of you folks. All right, remember we traded this morning, we traded short down to the low-hanging fruit. You can't really see it here, but we traded short down. You guys bid back up, and then short down, and then the 90 break, and then long back up. Some of you took two leg, and then I took short here, covered way too early, and now we're into a new range. And you can see, you know, we've just shifted POC now. We've had, you know, one trade down, second trade back up, third trade for the wash, fourth trade back up, fifth trade for the wash back down. Five trades I've called out, and they've all been money. So that's quite a lot. It takes it out of me as well. Don't think I don't get tired. I do. I get exhausted. Right, any questions? And I'm going to bounce out of here, team. Any questions? Big bid just come on, by the way. He's just come on a book. Literally just now. He just moved up from in front of 25,000. So he's looking to get filled. That would not be surprised if he's a short looking to fill his position here. As in he's looking to cover his position. 62s he's looking to cover. He's got 418 lot on the book. Chris, I appreciate you, man. Thank you. Catch you guys tomorrow. Catch you tomorrow, buddy. Thanks for turning up. Thanks, Alex. Pretty good day here. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Wishing you all a nice day. Thanks, Alex. Good as always. Jonathan B. Yeah, you're welcome, everyone. That, honestly, it means a lot that you guys turn up and sit with me. 99.9% of the chat, make money and have fun, and we do it all together. Every now and again, we get someone who's probably had a bad day and looking to vent. It's okay. It happens. Eventually, they'll turn up and with the right attitude, and we will convert people into learning and not using me the same way they might use some other people who just shout and scream and talk bollocks. All right, look, this bidder is spoofing. He's moved down. That makes me think he's definitely a short looking to cover. He wants to cover lower. All right, no worries, Richard. I'll get on that. Same with Psychosis. Congrats to the two winners. As soon as I get off stream, I'll make sure you have everything you need to get set up. Exactly, Ken. Sometimes you can't help it. You know, you can't help it. No worries, Troy. No worries. No worries, Tonio. Garber, do our mini micros show up on Bookmap? If as long as you're actually trading liquidity, if you're trading minis, and you're on the book, right? If you're trading a live account, yes, they will show up. Not if you're trading on a simulated account from prop firms, they will not show up. It's not real. But if you're trading a live account, yes, they will absolutely show up on the DOM, on the ladder, on the book. Absolutely. Does being on stream hurt your execution focus? Yes, Onus. I'll be honest, it does. I would say it makes me accountable. All right, it makes me fussy in a good way. It makes me talk through what I'm thinking, and that can enforce good trades. But you will see it, and we've talked about it before. Occasionally on stream, I get caught like teaching you a trade rather, or teaching you what I'm looking for, and I'll miss the execution. I have to be careful when that happens. That it doesn't set me on tilt. It does happen, but it's okay as long as I just can, move on the next trade mentality. It's all good. NGU, thank you so much, Alex. You've helped boost my confidence a lot. I've been blowing accounts a lot until I met you. Thank you. Hey, you're welcome, man. Thank you for joining. Thank you for the positivity. All right, folks. Big love to you all. Thanks for joining up. Don't do anything silly. All right, we've had some really, 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 really nice moves. Please don't do anything stupid this afternoon. You've made good money here this morning. Remember, our job is to trade those pocket aces when we have them and ignore all the shit hands. We give all the shit hands back. All right, we've been on a hot streak today. We had ace, 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 ace. Don't expect to keep giving aces. All right, maybe you're going to get a jack, jack, but the other side of you gets an ace, ace and beats you. Don't do that. Don't be giving back your day. Your job is to make money and get off the charts. There is a whole world out there full of loving, caring, fun people, full of fun things to do. This is not your life. Sitting here is not your life. Get off the charts. If you've made money, get off the charts. You're not missing anything. You can come back tomorrow. Start building that discipline. All right. Peace and love, everyone. Be kind to each other. Don't be a hater, you absolute goon. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Big love.